Good evening everyone, welcome here for tonight's double round. It's Thursday, so this means Porsches and the Pro Series. And for tonight, why my voice is starting now, so fading away. Okay, for tonight it's going to be me, Cristian Romano, on the microphone for the next 3 hours or so. First we're going to start with the Porsche Cups, and then with the Pro Series brought to you by CaseKing.de. In terms of standings, we can start with the Porsches, because this is the current situation in the standings. Abbe Santema is leading the pack in front of Granted Caracas and K-Po in third, with Max Florence and Finn Zimbal in 5th place. As you can see, only one round since the first week only just passed, and so plenty of opportunities for the drivers to have a chance for the ultimate prize that we will cover later on. The CaseKing.de Pro Series, slightly different scenario where actually there were 2 races since it's a double header. Eric Delfante currently sits at the very first place in front of Michael Frey, Milan Keys, Wojtek Neuwirth and Peter Duvelar at the moment. Top 5 is only gapped by about 51 points, literally 51 points, and we are probably in about an hour time very close to seeing it. Wait, let's see. Okay, is it working? Yeah, okay, it is working. We're going to see the Pro Series clash to have a grasp at the very first place, but we are probably imagining what they are fighting for. Well, this should answer your question. This is apologies. This is the full view at the prices in the entire ACC championships. At the moment, we got the GT4 series brought to you by Box 1, the Temple of Speed. Just I can't see the image that I put myself. Okay, way better. As I was saying, there is the Box 1 Racing GT4 series, the Temple of Speed series, the GT3 Sprint brought to you by Ghost Apps, and the GT3 series brought to you by Sync Mesh. And then there is the Multiclass and the PTT Racing Porsche Cup, with also the BMW M2, the GT3 Beginner Series, the North Life Sprint Cup, and the CC Drive Endurance. These are all the prices on screen. I'm going to be quite quick on this one because it's a lot to uncover. So these are all the prices for all the championships that LFM offers. And now the important ones, because first we start with the Porsche Cup, as this is apologies, this is the Porsche Cup price. A full track day with Porsche Cup on the Silesia Ring in Poland, brought to you by PTT. That's right, the winner of the championship receives an entire track day completely paid for by PTT. Second and third in the standings will receive just a trip to a Porsche Cup round. So for second and third, there is still something to play for. But then in the Pro Series, this is the current situation, as Moza Racing still sponsors the podium with a 2,500 euros voucher for Moza Racing for whoever arrives in first. And then there is a Meta Haptics bundle by Nitra Concepts for whoever arrives in second, and for the final spot in the podium, a pair of Audi LCD GX. That's a wonderful pair of headset. And so these are the prices for the CaseKing.de Pro Series. As I said earlier, we will start with the Porsches on the Hungaroring, so that's why you are looking at this one. Apologies. You're looking at this one here. This is the Hungaroring, quite famous racetrack in Formula 1, and pretty much that. Unfortunately, the Hungaroring doesn't really host that many series anymore. There was the GT World Challenge once upon a time, but the Hungarian track, 4.3 kilometers long, which actually started to be the Formula 1 round in 1986, so quite a long time ago. And the current series is, as I said, it's Formula 1, but also the International GT Open and the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year has raced here. Yes, you are probably wondering why the Benelux Porsche Cup is racing in Hungary, and I don't have really an answer for that. It's Porsche Cup Benelux. I just give up on that point, considering they themselves have to race to two different countries. It's not really a national series, it's more like a regional series, but that's things. Anyway, in the past there was also the LMS, the TCR World Tour, and the once was the WTCR, which then died a long time ago, and also obviously the GT World Challenge in Europe with the DTM, the Superbike, and the FIA GT. And next year also the TCR in Europe will come here in newly renovated. This is obviously all the footage of the racetrack. The racetrack just had a renovation for, well, obviously for Formula 1. And so everything is different on the front stretch. There are new new standings. There is new tarmac also. Let me see if I can. Yes, I can. Everything works. Just allow yourself. Windows is very funny. Anyway, the qualifying just started, so we can go on track. Just one moment here. Okay, everything is now working. Let me go into drive. Every time these things take a bit of time because I can't really. Okay, I don't really have a way to do it outside of the lobby. So once I join the lobby, I have to do everything. But as I was saying, we go now on live. As you can see, Grantas Caracas being in the number one Porsche with the. Let's take things why are. Let me just data connector. Okay, so the teams aren't working this time around. Not really sure why. If I just okay, let me try something different, because I really want to let you see everything, but also need things to work. Okay, now they are working. Fantastic stuff. So Grantas Caracas for Visual Esports currently in the number one. Apologies for these seconds of bit of trying to resolve the knot. But in any case, we are now on the racetrack. On the tower on the left, you will see rotating as always the nationality and in qualifying the delta to the prior car. And now that I think about it, probably you don't really need the manufacturer considering it's a Porsche Cup. So everyone is on the same Porsche, on the 992 version. That basically has its root on GT3, on the GT3 that is used in the GT3 class obviously, and it's very close to the road version. This one here, particularly the GT3 on the road, pretty much it is a light version of the GT3 Cup. Jan Buscher at the moment is leading the pack. For every bit intensifies with a 46.3. The next car in course is number 17. And Grantas Caracas, as I was saying earlier, with a number one. Now he's in second. Azabe Santema just jumped him. And now in number 3. 44.6 for the Reflex Esports. Number 3 with a completely black livery. It's pretty noisy here. Obviously, these cars are without the noise restrictor that is used in the GT3 class. So even in real life, they don't really have the silencer, as I like it to call. They are completely raw, and you barely can hear something. Fantastic for everyone who has tinnitus, just like me. At the moment, Abe Santema is also improving his own lap time by a single tenth, and never mind what I said, because he just went wide on the chicane, he just lost everything, and I have to shut up at times, because the Corsica commentator is always on. Balasphere was improving, and even him has now gone outside of the racetrack. I'm starting to think I should even stop at looking at people at this point. And Robert Wiedbeck is improving for now by an entire half second. 47.6 could become a 47.2, leading him to a jump into the top 10. Pascal Giraud is now in 4th place in a number 6, 45.7. Still a second outside the pole, still being held by Abe Santema. So let's go in the split cam. These cars are phenomenal because they are completely different from the GT3s, although they are called the GT3 Cup. They have a way less downforce for obvious reasons. They have the same engine. They are way higher on the ground, and they still use the same Pirelli tires, but they still have the same engine. It is being used on the GT3 version. Now, can Wiedbeck get into the top 10, as I was mentioning earlier? He is now in 16th. If he can improve just enough, he really needs this one. Oh, unfortunately, he just misses out on the top 10. He currently is in 11th place. 46.4, just less than a tenth away from Ben Rice. In the meantime, Grantas Caracas is improving. 2 tenths on his own lap time. He requires 2.5 tenths to get into pole. He just went wide on the grass, as you could see earlier. So maybe this will be an improvement, but probably not enough to get into pole position. Territory. Leon Crane, number 9. He currently is in 7th. With a 46.2, and to jump Buscher, he just needs a tenth. So at this point, he is en route to at least get into 2nd position. It's unfortunate that I can't show you the real time gaps, the delta times. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Maybe I can. Let me just... no, I cannot. There is a current lap live, but it doesn't really help. Anyway, Leon Crane at the line. Oh, he jumps into 5th place. Wait, did he become Scottish for a moment? He jumps into 5th place, now 6th place after... I think yeah, Capo just joined the top 5. 4th place for Best Francis Perts. With Capo on the wheel. At this point, the top 5 is not really putting down any time, but 11, Mika Patush is definitely en route to put something on the racetrack. 7 tenths, now 8 tenths below his own 46.2. So I do expect something good to come out of this very colorful livery with the blue and lime combination. As he is now in 7th place, number 11. Remember that the number they represent is also the strength of their own performance against the field. So, for example, Alexa Starchevich with the number 33, he should be... No, Alexa, maybe she... Oh, okay. Let's go with different approach. They should be in 33rd. They are actually in 13th at the moment, so their elo is definitely going to be helped, but unfortunately just encountered a slower car, so they will have to abort the lap and to think about it later on. Meanwhile, Octavian Penetroy is now in 11th place from 15th, a jump of 4 places. Let me put OBS down here. And just on the outskirts of the top 10, but never say never, probably a top 10 is possible for Pedroy. Oh, okay. Grund here just completed the lap. It wasn't an improvement. As you can see on the bottom right corner, you can see the last 3 laps. The last lap was 47.9 for Grund. So definitely not an improvement. Mika Potash is still here, still trying to get into the top 5. Another 2 times can be eaten by Patosh here. So can the number 11 here for race place get into the top 5 on the slipstream, and he gets a 4th place. He gets into 4th. Finn Zimbal gets thrown out of the top 5. And Mika Patosh now 4th, although very close to 3rd, so probably can still get an even better position. He has been climbing the stairs since the qualifying started, but only 1 lap remains. 1 minute and 30 seconds on the timer. And I really expect all or nothing from all the drivers. Sarkiewicz here trying to get into the top 10 4 times at the moment is the improvement for the number 33. 46.3 on the line. Ben Rice in front, only 10 milliseconds quicker. And to get into the top 10, not much is... Okay, actually, I just looked at it. It's a lot is required, to be fair. And Abe Santema just put up another purple lap, 44.5 for Santima. Caracas is not improving, and he likely won't improve unless he can get another lap. Oh, never mind what I said. Caracas was actually shown as a red lap, and actually just improved. 44.4 for Caracas. And there is still another chance for him in the number 1. The number 1 is not there for nothing. And I just looked away, and Sarkiewicz is now 6.6 seconds off their own lap, so probably something happened. Florence improves, entices Kren, so he still has the same time as Kren, but he will stay behind. And so Florence in the LFM esports will stay behind Leon Kren for Flyby esports, apologies. I still keep reading esports, I don't know why. It is a team which is called esports, that's why. To be fair. Finn Zimbal in the Gladius competitions that has just been put out at top 5 about 2 minutes ago. Currently 3 times below himself. So Zimbal can still put the car in the top 5, but at the same time, even Capo is improving. Just behind him, also in the very same black livery. Oh, it's a black and purple livery. Is that... Oh, okay, I think I get what it is, yeah. But I don't have permission to talk about it, respectfully speaking. As Zimbal goes across the line, and that's 4th place for Finn Zimbal in number 5. And Poe, with a commemorative livery, gets and remains in 7th. Doesn't improve. And I think... oh, there is only one car that is about to improve. Team AMR Germany, number 27. When it's sitting in 35th place. The only car that still has to finish the lap. And across the line, and that's 35th place still for same fact. As he will start at the very final rows of the grid. Now just waiting a couple of seconds to get the grid. In the meantime, I hope everybody is having a good time. Obviously, if you have any question, just put them in chat. Why is some names read at times? Because they were in the pits. That's the red triangle means they are they have returned to the garage. And that's the same even in the race. Just let me see if I can now get into the grid, which is a possibility. If I can find it on OBS, obviously it's now. Let me go here. Okay. It should work. Every time I say these words, as you can see, every time it's fantastic. Okay, never mind. Gangsta Carcass for Visual Esport, I just had to reload, is in the lead of it all, being followed by Abes and Tema in second place. Then Andrew Hiphoff, second place, second row for the German driver for LFM Esports, and Finn Zimbal follows in fourth place, number 5, Gladius Competitions. Completing your top 5, Mika Patush in the number 11 Porsche with his very nice color combination for race place. And then in 6th place, Leon Kren in the black and gold livery for Flyby Esports. Capo follows in 7th place in car number 2, the commemorative livery for Christian. Max Florence, number 4, 8th place for the LFM Esports here in the usual colors. And then Rexy in the freelancer car. Pascal Giroux starts in 9th place. I would like a Rexy in Porsche, I will be honest, I will pay for it. Christian Buescher for Orbit Intensifies completes your top 10. Ian Buescher, 11th place for the number 8 with a white livery. And Octavian Penetroy starts in 12th place, number 13, just in front of Balas Feher with a Hungarian livery. The Hungarian driver for Cartoon Man will start in his own track in 13th place. 14th for Ben Rice, Thanos Racing in a very nice color combination there, with a chrome white back. Then Shops in the 255 condition by Go Setups starts in 15th place, and then 16th for Alexa Starkevich as the number 33 starts very high in the grid compared to the number they have on the door. Colorworks Racing Team with Jason Lenz, the German, will start in 17th place, and Robert Wiedbeck will start in 18th place in the number 23 with a 46.4. Then Pedro Prol in the green line for Lawrence Low High Performance will start in 19th. And completing your top 20, the number 22 for VPSpeedshop.com, Oscar Radstrom, the Swedish driver, will start in 20th place. Daniele Modica, the Italian driver for Empower, will start in 21st place. And Niranjan Kuma, number 31 for the Indian driver, that will start in 22nd place. Andreas Grund will start in 23rd place. And Daniel Dürr will start in the number 10 for Carrera Racing Team. So quite a poor performance for Dürr, even considering he is usually at the very top end of the grid. 25th place for ENG in Stuttgart, Adrian Schmiegelt. And 26th for Lauri Seppanen, the Finnish driver here in 26. Will start just in front of Girgo Kiss with Medvelen Kit in the Hungarian racetrack, his own home track too. Mari Hoffman for Colorworks Racing Team, the number 20, will start in 28th place. 29 in 29th place, Zohan Fit for Zero Lift will start just in front of Carlos Garcia, as the Spanish driver will start at the very tail end of the top 30. 31st place for Fabian Grosse. No, Grosse, because he's Frenchman. And 42nd place for number 37, Mijan Kraus, the German for Fischer Racing Casual, will start in 42nd place. 43rd for Alexander Reitz, even him for Colorworks Racing Team in the number 25, and the number 39 will start in 44th with Dexter Slade for Prototype Racers Germany. 45th place for Same Factor, the number 27 for Team IMR Germany, will start in front of Felix Frank. In the other Khalid Racing Team, number 35, the German will be ahead of the other IMR. Oh, that's a livery. Okay, that's a fantastic livery. Peter Malman will start in a very colorful livery there in 37. 38 for ENG Stuttgart for the number 32. Björn Houdap will start in front of Jonathan Meyer for Tinbago Bros. And completing your grid of 40... please, there is another one. Adrian Schillo will start in 40th place, and the 31st and last on the grid is going to be the number 31 of Geronimo Werle. The Brazilian driver will start last of the whole pack. It took me some time, as we are nearly at the very tail end of the racetrack. But the Porsche Cups have been around since 1993, and I actually had I made a mistake earlier. I said Pirelli tires. They are Pirelli tires on the game, but actually they use Michelin in real life. But because of licenses, they have to use Pirelli here. But in real life, they use Michelin tires. But as I was saying, they use the very same engine that is used in the usual GT3. They use a 4.0 liters, which is obviously a boxer engine, which is based on the road version of the race car. So the road version is based on, so the race track version is based on the road version, which is based on the racetrack version. It's a bit of a chain reaction in that. But in any case, we will start now the second round of the Porsche Cup, brought to you by PTT. In a few seconds, 30 minutes for these drivers in green light, and away we go with a very nice start for Fabio Santema, that is in second, still remains in second. Actually, it was a better run for Carrera on the second phase of his acceleration. As you can see, free wide on the background. Oh, there's actually contact. Oh, and the blue Porsche collides with Finn Zimpel, who also gets another contact there. Front to front with another race car. I don't really know which one it was. Another contact there for Zimbal. I think it was... and Sarcevic collides with Radstrom. I think it was Radstrom, and it's now sideways in the middle of the third corner. As Fabio Santema still follows in second place, Keipo in third, Andre Hipov in fourth place, Mika Patush free wide for him. He created the collision into the first corner, so probably a penalty will be applied to his name. He is now at the very tail end of the top 10, just making the overtake on Buescher for 10th and about to make the same unfair for 9th, but at the moment he remains in 10th with a possible penalty pending on his name. Ben Rice on the grass. That's a car that collided with Zimbal early on with the front of the car. As you can see, the front is completely damaged, and more contact here with Dexter Slade and Alexander Reitz having a door-to-door action. And another time, and that's the very same car going on the grass. So Ben Rice clearly has some suspension damage at this point. It's not only front aero damage, because the car is not really there anymore. In the meantime, Mika Patush is trying on the outside on the Hungarian driver for 9th place. He still is. Now he's on the inside. He's going to get the lunge into the final corner, final hairpin actually. And that's position number 9 for Mika Patush. 2 seconds off the duo battling for 7th, with Max Lorenz going on the inside. Actually, it was Pascal Giraud getting collided by... that was not really a safe rejoin for Pascal Giraud. And that was Leon Kren colliding with Giraud, who is now in 17th place. Collision into turn 1. It was a very brave move for Kren, and now Giraud is in 16th place, about to battling with Finn Zimbal, now in 17th place, still on the outside. That's probably Zimbal on the inside. He tries in the number 5, and number 6 goes out of bounds. Zimbal with a very damaged race car, so probably don't really expect Zimbal to be able to fight at 100% of his abilities. But at the moment, Zimbal goes on the outside, tries something very, very cheeky, and actually he managed to do so and succeeds in making the move in front of Pedro Paul and also Giraud follows Zimbal for 16th place. In the meantime, also Anders Grund here losing the position actually on Daniel Dörr and Oscar Ralstrom, and even Hoffman very likely. So even Hoffman gets ahead of the Spanish driver in the Spanish colors. Contact between the Spaniard and Hoffman, and now Adrian Schmidt is ahead in the green and white livery. And number 26 is now in... oh, there's a contact there! And Mario Hoffman is sideways with a contact with Andreas Schmidt. Tumbling down the field. And that's now 31st for Mario Hoffman. Very unfortunate considering he was in 21st, so 10 positions lost for the car number 20. That is also battling now with the red IMR race car of same fact. So that's another position lost for Hoffman, now in 32nd place. As we go back in the front of the field, Christian Buescher still battling, this time for 9th place in the blue livery. The number 12 wants to make an attack on a Hungarian driver. Probably he wants to succeed in having a good result here, considering it's his own home track. And Balsafair. Oh, there's a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag somewhere, and that's the number 38. That's the number 38. Unfortunately, it's Team AMR with the best livery in the field. And that's last place for them. Oh, actually, second to last place for them. Apologies. So 40th place. Andre Hipov very close on K-Po. That's for the podium place. As Gantas Karikas is still leading without really any trouble. 1 second on Abe Santema, who himself has a 4 seconds gap on Po. On the main straight, can Hipov dive into the inside? He remains behind for 6.0 in the last lap for Po, 45.8 for Hipov, and there is a yellow flag as Robert Wiedbok also manages to... no, actually he doesn't manage to defend against Zimbal. He loses the position on Zimbal and probably even on Joe. Both of them on a comeback run, although side by side for the two race cars. And Rexy actually goes wide, and Wiedbeck for now remains in 15th place. With Zimbal now in 14th. As Buescher here, for a little bit intensifies, still trying to clinch an attack on the rival car. Now 3 seconds away from Mika Potesh, so clearly this train is getting slowed down by Feher. As Giro manages to get the car ahead of Wiedbeck. And so the number 6 is now in 15th. Still a long way to go for Rexy. A lot has happened since the very start of the race. I have way too many incidents on the report sheet, so probably I cannot get a replay when things will come down eventually. Maybe if they will ever come down, which at this point I really don't see the opportunity for that to happen. Christian Buescher, last lap for him was at 46.6, 46.8 for Feher. This lap, 46.9 for Lenz. As you can see, it was a 47.0 and a 46.8 for Feher. So this lower lap for Buescher, as also Shops is back in the pack. Actually, not at the tail end of the pack, considering behind him Penetroy and Zimbal are also following. Speaking of Penetroy, not Zimbal. Remember, he was starting way ahead. He was starting in 4th place. And then disaster struck, and Zimbal is now in 14th. But about to make a pass into the inside he goes. Can he get the overtake done? He actually can, and completes the overtake with a very, very quick move on Oxygen Penetroy. 13th place now for Zimbal. Next objective, Danish Shops for 12th place. Gantas Caracas still leads in front of everybody else. Last lap it was a 44.6, actually quicker than his best lap time, but he was pinged with an off track, so that's why he didn't get a purple lap on that. Last time 44.8 for Caracas and Santema. Paul follows with a 5.6, and same for Hipov. Kren with a 5.8, 5.5 for Florence, 5.9 for Busher, 5.4 for Patush, and 6.3 for Fer. See, maybe I have a moment as Pascal Giraud in the background gets the overtake done on Penetroy. 14th place for the car that was starting 5 positions ahead, so in 9th. Let's see if I can get Zimbal's incident. The answer is yes, I can. So this is what happened to the number 5. Oh, this was just a contact. This is not what I had in mind. And probably this was the actual incident between the 6th. And okay, yes, this was the incident between the 6th. It's not between the 6th and the 5, unfortunately. This is just the one that happened between the 6th and the car behind, which was the number, I can't remember the number. As you can see, the number 9, and then it was the white car of Leon Kren that spun Pascal Giraud. For a moment, OBS disconnected, not sure why. Zimbal also managed to get the overtake done on Shops, but we will get a view on the battle for the podium, because Capo, last lap around, 6.1, 5.9 for Andy Hipov. It doesn't really try and overtake. He remains behind. And I'm also noticing something. Last lap for Caracas was a 5.3. Abe Santema, 4.9. So now the gap between the two is less than a second. 8 times for them. As Hipov just lost a couple of times on the car ahead. So we'll jump with Max Lawrence. As you can see, Leon Kren. So I suppose Leon Kren will also have a possible penalty on his name. And meanwhile, Finn Zimbal managed to get himself in front of Jason Lenz for 11th place, so we can put forward the overtake that took place just 30 seconds ago. Just following closely his rival, and then outside of to number 4, and just prior to number 5. That was an easy overtake, even considering that probably was getting a bit helped by the car ahead. Christian Buscher still addressing the obstacle in front. Called Ballas Fair, still behind me. He hasn't managed to get the overtake done, and now Zimbal is becoming a bit bigger in his mirror. The car was once a very tiny pixel, and now it is an entire car. As Florence here. Apologies, it wasn't Leon Kren earlier, it was Ian Busher, the white car that spun Rexy. Leon Kren was actually involved in the incident, but it wasn't direct culprit. Mika Potesh also managed to get back into the pack, the number 11, which earlier on was involved in an incident. that took out several cars, including the number 5 of Finzimbal into turn 1, which then collided with another Porsche Cup, unfortunately. And this pack is now getting spicy, because we are battling for 5th place, as Pascal Giraud also overtook Jason Lenz. So that's Rexy, and also that's Penetroy trying a possible move on Dennis Shops in the 2x5 competition. Penetroy at the moment remains in 15th, so I think it's a good moment to jump back into the... Oh, that was cheeky from the number 4. Oh, actually making contact with Leon Kren. It was a bit of a NASCAR move, trying to get a bump draft and also a bumper run. Another bumper run there into the hairpin. So that's Max Florence trying to get himself in front of Kren one way or another. 15 minutes still remain, so we are at halfway into the race. Into turn 1, nothing happens between Florence and Kren. Although Kren goes wide into turn 1, another possible contact between the two. Nothing to be seen here as Leon Kren 3 seconds off people. So at this point, this is just the battle for the top 5, just entering it as the 36 is off track. And also I can see another possible incident here as Dennis Shops switches positions with Penetroy for a brief moment. As Shops is back in 14th place. Maybe he's back in 14th place as he has to cut in front of Octavian Penetroy. He remains in 14th place with Penetroy in 15th. Number 13 remains behind and looks forward to a possible position, but he has to make it count. He has to create the overtake. Meanwhile, in 6th place, Max Florence tried very hard to get in front of Kren, and now he has to defend against Ian Busher for 6th place. All of a sudden, he now is the car being chased. Last lap around, it was a 6.4 for Kren, 6.6 for Florence, 6.4 for Pusher, and 6.1 for Patush. So although he created the incident at every turn 1 and the possible penalty will be applied, Patush still wants to at least get as many positions as he can while he can. You can see the sea of Germans, and in the middle is just one Hungarian flag. As the 41 retires, and Zimbal tries the overtake on the outside on Christian Buscher. Very difficult. Although you are Finn Zimbal, you have to make it on the outside of a hairpin at the Hungaroring, so not really easy. But possibly Zimbal will try again on turn number 1. So will he be able to do so? And he just misses out. Oh, maybe not. Actually, maybe not. There is a huge incident, as you can see on the minimap, between several cars. We will see later on the replay what just happened between the 26 and the 14. 25, apologies. 25, 35, 12 and 5, all being involved in an incident. So for now, these two remain clean. And Han Ripov is still trying to get a position done in front of Capo. This is for the podium. This has been the chase for the last 70 minutes. And this just gives me the opportunity to get the replay in front of us. So this is what happened to the car number 35. This is not the car 35, unfortunately. And I have to search for it now. Very, very useful now. Let me go back here. Okay, so this is Felix Frank in the number 35, and the Spaniard behind. I think it was Garcia. Yeah, it was Garcia on the inside. And then there was it was the 35 actually losing the rear, and two more cars were involved there. I suppose one of them was the number 12 and the other was the number 25. So Alexander Reitz was involved in there. In the meantime, let's go back into Oh, there was something happened here now, as Leon Kren clearly isn't in the same position as he was early on. As there was a contact between the number 9 and the number 8. So let's see what happened. So this is the replay. So there was a possible overtake there for Ian Busher. At the same time, Mika Potish was also very interested in a possible move. So let's see. Oh, it was just a door-to-door. Oh, and then the number 9 also lost the rear, nearly going on for a pit maneuver on Mika Potish, who also gained the position in front of Leon Kren, now sitting in 8th place. At the very front of the field, now Santema is only 4 tenths behind Caracas. So the very final moments of the race, we could see a possible battle for the lead of the race. There is some scratched paint on the right side of the race car, but the number 3 is very close now. So I do expect something to come out of it. 10 minutes to go, so we could expect a lot between these two, as Finn Zimbal managed to get a position down in front of Ballas Feher. 9th place for Zimbal now. And the Busher, with Pascal Giraud just behind, has now a chance to make a move, although probably Rexy will be... Oh, actually it's a dive between... Oh, huge crash there between Giraud, Feher and Busher, who completely lost... it was Giraud, yeah, it was Giraud completely... no, it was Busher, yeah, it was Busher completely losing the braking point and going straight. And Feher is now in 16th place. So let's see what happened to the number 17 and the number 6. From this view, it is way easier to see what happened. Have a look on the blue Porsche, which is not going to brake in time, going straight, completely straight, cutting across the two, and then Rexy didn't really have time to react and collided with a Hungarian driver, who now sits in 16th place, 2 seconds off Wiedbeck in 15th. Busher now in 14th, and Pascal Giraud in 10th place. Mika Potish still trying to get a position on Ian Busher's place, trying the cutback on the final sector. Unfortunately, he sits on the outside. Oh, more contact there between Busher and Patush. At the same time, Leon Kern is really trying to put his car in a place where it doesn't really belong, as now he sits on the outside trying to search and to find a better exit speed compared to Patush, but he remains behind, and the number 9 still in 8th place. Preparing a dive, actually goes for a dive. Can he do it? Oh, he's very, very cool. Actually, he's not very clean. He's not very clean. He actually collides more than one time on Ian Busher, and Mika Patush basically gets gifted the position number 6 for him. Leon Kren tried a dive bomb that didn't work out. So let's see what happened from another perspective. So let's see from my own board, actually. So Leon Kren is behind both the Porsche number 11 and Ian Busher. He tries a dive. He definitely can do it in time. Collides with the number 8, who also goes out of bounds and collides more than one time with him. And Ian Busher now back in 7th. Mika Patush, as I said, has been practically gifted the position, and then Shops here battling for 11th place with Jason Lance, and now into the fight, probably. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Penetroy tried to. Oh, actually, he tries a move on Penetroy, and Christian Buscher makes it through in 12th place, actually making the overtake on both Lance and Penetroy that were fighting for position. For Buscher, this is a net gain of 2 places, but still way behind compared to where he was early on. 12th place for the number 12 at the moment. As one car. Oh, that's Pascal Giraud. The number 6, the Rexy livery, in the grass of the second to last turn and gets back on the racetrack in 14th place. So disaster for the number 6 with dirty tires, so can't really get a good exit out of the final turn. And so Chiro now 14th, he remains in 14th place. In the meantime, Leon Crane still putting himself in active discussions for position with Ian Busher, and with active discussion I mean a brawl fight at this point. Oh, actually, it is a full send into the number 8, completely demolishing the rear end of Ian Busher and put him sideways in the middle of the exit runoff. And the number 8 probably not happy with Leon Crane's actions. This is Zimbal also getting a possible chance at an 8th place. Yes, it is on the outside. It tries, and Ian Busher can't really do anything about it because Finn Zimbal was placed in a way better man. Although, as you can see, Zimbal goes completely out of bounds, not even in the camera's point of view. And that's Zimbal now in 8th place. Ian Busher 9th with very likely a lot of damage on the diffuser and the rear wing. If you missed it. This was the incident between the two. Another incident, I would say, as these two were fighting for position number 7. Leon Crane once again missing the braking point and putting Busher out on the AstroTurf. And now Busher, as you can see, he's sliding around as he lost a lot of the real downforce. Meanwhile, Avesantema here trying to get the position done in front of Caracas. Yes, he can do it. Yes, he does. And that's the lead for Avesantema in front of Grantas Caracas with a bit of a contact with a door-to-door situation. And Grantas Caracas now is in 2nd place for the first time in the whole 30 minutes. It was possibly a mistake for Caracas, as there were 8 times between the two early on. And now the gap, as you can see, is minus 0.2. Santema managed to get the overtake done on Caracas. And now the Visceral Esports driver has to answer to his rival, who for the first time is in the lead with only 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. The fastest lap holder has to deliver a good overtake. Yes, he goes into the inside. He throws the car, hopes for the best, and now number 1 is in the lead. This is for position number 1. This is for the lead. This is for the win of the race. Caracas now back in the lead. Santema follows in 2nd. It was a huge dive into the inside for Caracas. Very physical. And now number 1 has to either defend or use the tires as much as he can for the final laps. Can Kenny Spirellis give him some more juice, or is he done for the day? Did he use the tires, all of them, for that very overtake into turn 1? Santema is fading away, so probably Santema was in a very good situation at this point, as Capo just lost a second on Andrei Hipov, so possibly a mistake for Poe. And it was a very good battle, one in the lead. So let's see how it evolved. So this is the reason for Caracas being slowed down. Oh, actually, it was a lapped car getting thrown into the barriers also. And that's also the overtake between Caracas and and Santema. With Santema getting the lead, and this is the answer on Santema's side for Caracas. With Caracas that threw the car into turn 1, bit of door to door, and gained the lead of the race once more. And then there was a yellow flag also between Dennis Shops and another car. So this is Dennis Shops all on himself. Oh, actually, oh, it was another car. It was a white car there. It was, I think it was the very same lapped car from early on that was just going zigzagging in the middle of the racetrack. So not really a good look there. Anyway, 15 seconds to go, and Pascal Giraud still wants to make a possession out of his mistakes, and that's 10th place for the number 6. Pascal Giraud is now in 10th, inside the top 10. As Christian Buescher also very keen on trying to apply for a position on Shops' sides. But here, the next one is the final one. Only one lap left. There's only one lap left by mere seconds, but only one lap remains. So white flag brought to you by PTT. And remember, all of this is for a fully paid test session with a Porsche Cup in Poland at the Silesia Ring. Not in turn 1, not in turn 2. So Santema has to find somewhere in the second sector, or even the third. Actually, that's what he was looking for. Caracas goes wide into turn number 3, into the hairpin. So he just gained a 10th that maybe, just maybe, could be the difference between first and second at the very end of the race. Although Caracas just gained it all. But again, he goes wide. Again, he offers a window. Santema can get closer. He just has to create his own opportunity utilizing Caracas' resources. As his car is going wide, at times possibly the tires are starting to give up on Caracas' car. Only a few tens of meters between the two, about 2 car lengths. Santema just exited a bit slower compared to Caracas' final 2 hairpins. Can Santema get a lead, or will he stay in second? After 30 minutes of racing, only 1 hairpin remains. Santema is behind, and Caracas doesn't flinch. And Caracas wins the second round of the PTT Porsche Cup in front of Ave Santema in second, and Hadre Hiphoff third place for the LFM driver. Capo follows another 2 seconds behind. And McLaren's completes your top 5 with Mika Patosh in 6th place, Leon Ken in 7th place, Finn Zimbal after starting in 4th and ended up in 20th place. He arrived in 8th. Ian Buescher, 9th place only, unfortunately. Pascal Giraud, 10th place for Rexy. And Christian Buescher managed to overtake Dennis Shops at the very final lap. As Ballas Feher, the Hungarian driver, arrives at 13th place with Octavian Penetroy and Jason Lenz that just switched positions at the very tail end of the race. Only 1/10 between the two. Robert Wiedbeck, 16th with Pedro Prol in 17th, Oscar Radstrom in 18th, 19th for Daniele Modica, and 20th for Irayan Kumar. Then we got Doer in 21st, Schmigelt in 22nd, 23rd for Kies, 24th for Grund, 25th for Hoffman, 26th for 5th, apologies, 27th for Saskiewicz, 28th for Seppanen, okay, Seppanen, Garcia in 29th, Factor in 30th, Kraus in 31st, 32nd for Hodap, 33rd for Reitz with Frank in 34th, Slade in 35th, 36th for Malman, and these are the lap cars, so 36th, 1 lap down for Malman, 37th for Schillo, 38th for Meyer, 39th for Reyes, and 40th and last on track, Fabian Grossi. The very final moment also, there was possibly an overtake between Penetroy for 14th. Was it? Am I correct? Yeah, only 68 milliseconds between Lenz and Penetroy. It was very close between the two. Till number 13. And the number 21 with Penetroy that managed to just get the position. Let's see if I can maybe let's try. No, it's already too late, so because I really want to see if I can catch the final moments in which the overtake happened. Oh, actually, yes, I can, but it was odd. Was the other car slowing down? Let me try like this. So as you can see, so just on Lens, yeah, he just slows down. I can see Lens's point of view. But I would like to see from Penetroy's point of view. I wonder if Lens just had the very final hairpin in a wrong manner. Because it was very odd. I didn't really see the rear slipping off. So I wonder if maybe it was for an earlier contact, or maybe Lens really had trouble getting out of the final hairpin. Anyway, let's see if the results are on. Probably not. This is the first of yeah, it's still Red Bull Ring. This was the first of the two races. Now it's 8 o'clock, so this means it's caseking.de time. But first, I will wait for the results to be put forward, and in the meantime, let me just find. Here we are. So the next track for tonight is Donington with the GT3s. Let me see if the results are on. Okay, I can't see it unless I just. Okay, yes, they are. So Grandes Caracas wins in front of Abbe Santema by 4 times only. Andre Hipov, Capo, Max Florence completes your top 5. Mika Patush, Leon Kren, Finn Zimbal, Ian Buscher, and Pascal Giraud your top 10. Christian Buscher, Dan Shops, Balas Feher, Octavian Penetroy, and Jason Lenz your top 15. Following the entirety of the field. In the meantime, I will. Let me just put it from here. In the meantime, I will put everything back to how it should be. So I have to go back. No, my voice. Okay, for a moment I forget. I lost my voice. What was that voice? Why did I go so grave on my voice? I was like, oh yeah, let's see with the race. It was like a monster. Yeah, in the meantime, that the full results are on. I will just put everything forward for the next race. But it was definitely wonderful race. Plenty of action. Let's say plenty of action. I'm also pretty sure that these aren't the final results. These are only the provisional results. But let me go here into Discord. Here you are. So Donington race 1. Remember, it's 2 races for the Pro Series, and we mentioned the PTT prices, so a full track day for. Let me just go here. Well, no, there you go. Okay. So as I said, it is fully paid track day with Porsche and PTT on the Silesia Ring in Poland for the winner, and also for the podium sitters, because obviously they don't really go home without anything. There is a visit to a race weekend with PTT Racing. For the K-Skin.de, slightly different scenario, as the top 3 receives 3 different prices. P1 receives 2,500 euros from Moza Racing, a voucher for their website. For Where Racing second, Nitro Concepts offers a Metaphysics bundle. And then we got a pair of headset, an LCD GX, brought by LDC obviously, for the final sitter in the podium. In terms of the standings, these are the results. The Porsche Cup. No, they are not updated. No, they are not updated yet. So we'll just wait a moment. Okay, so as I said earlier, it is a double header in Donington. Okay, things are already working. Different formula from earlier. It was a single race without pits, and it's just a single make. Obviously here it's completely different because it's a GT3 K-Skin.de series, which is the crown jewel of LFM. As always, every championship you are seeing, you are free to join in one-off races. You don't have to compete in every single race. As you can see now, Grantas Carrera is tied with Aves Centena. 2,760 points for both. Capo follows in third, Max Florence in fourth, and Finn Zimbal, unfortunately, only fifth after tonight's adventure. Has been quite unlucky in turn 1. As I said earlier, this probably isn't the final classification, because the penalties have to be counted, and they still haven't been counted since there is live stewarding only for the K-Skin.e Pro Series. For the PTT, there will be post-race scrutineering, so these aren't the official results, these are the provisional results, just to put it forward for you all. Now, in the K-Skin.de series, what are we looking for? Well, at the moment... Okay. At the moment, Eric Del Fante leads by about 40 points. Michael Frey follows in second, Milan Keys in third, with Wojtek Neuwirth and Peter De Villar in fourth and fifth. So the ones to watch are Eric Del Fante, Michael Frey, and Milan Keys for obvious reasons. They are in the podium, and they are very close with each other. Grantas Carrera only 17th, so a bit of a difficult situation for Carrera at the moment. But remember, there is the drop round, so nothing to cry on. There is a drop round, and the second round, the second race also helps a lot. And now we are waiting for the free practice to end. Let me just go here because I want to put forward the ACC calendar. As you can see, we've got the World Series. The round just comes after Spa. Next time around is going to be Imola, then Watkins-Glen, Brands Hatch, Silverstone, North Life, the entire North Life, Valencia, Suzuka, Hungaroring, Paul Ricard, Christmas, and then Monza on the 13th week. This is the Pro Series. Also, you can see the daily, the Endurance Series, which is held on Sundays, the daily sprint, the Duo Cup, which also interchanges with the multi-class race on Monday, the daily GT4 calendar, and the Monday, Wednesday, Saturday Porsche Cup, which interchanges with the BMW M2 competition. This is the full calendar for ACC, and in every single championship for this season, there is also a prize pool. This is the prize pool for all the championships. You've got €100 voucher for whoever wins the GT4 Series Box 1 Racing, and there is a raffle for 2 other lucky drivers. The Temple of Speed has a 3-month race engineer subscription for the winner, and there is a raffle, a monthly subscription raffle. And if you are wondering, the Temple of Speed series is the daily championship being held at Monza. Then we got the Go Setup GT3 Sprint, which offers the winner a 3-month subscription to Go Setups, and there is a raffle for 5 lucky drivers for a month subscription to Go Setups. The multi-class GT3 GT4 offers each class winner a wind bundle by Ninja Concepts, and the GT3 series by SyncMesh offers a pair of gloves for everybody. That's not the Casking.de Pro Series, that's the SyncMesh GT3 series, which is a different one. It's the 45 minutes races daily series. Offers these gloves. P1 receives a LFM M Pro, P2 an M2X, and P3 an N7R1. We already covered the PTT racing, but that's a weekend courtesy of PTT Racing. The BMW M2 and the GT3 Beginner Series both receive an Academy key for the winner, and there is a raffle for 2 other, and that's okay. That's courtesy of wait, it's not okay. Courtesy of ACCSolutions.de, and then we got also a raffle for 3 Academy keys in the North Life Sprint Cup, and the usual 10 ACC Drive keys for P1 to P3 in the ACC Drive Endurance Series, courtesy of ACC Drive. This should cover everything, and if you are not satisfied, I've got more, because these are the prices for the Assetto Corsa season, as we got a lot to unpack even here. Yes, pre-practice is still on in the Casking.de, so I'm just waiting for that to conclude. But as I was saying, AC also has its own prize pool. There is the GT3 series, which delivers a €100 voucher to the winner, and there is a raffle for €75 and €50 for Box 1 Racing. Each series for Formula 2004 Porsche Cup and LMP3 Challenge receives a month race engineer courtesy of LFM. Same prices for the TCR Cup, for the SyncMesh TCR Cup, as in the ACC pool. Nitro Concepts offer to the Radical Cup a LED strips bundle, a wind bundle for the Open Wheel Championship winner, and a XM2WE mouse for the Sports Car Series winner. And obviously I'm not really covering the crown jewel of the Assetto Corsa Championships, as GSI offers an FPE V2 wheel to the winner, a GXL V2 to the second place holder, and an Interlock Ultra wheel for the third place holder, courtesy of GSI. Now, assist drive is working twice. That's why something wasn't working. That's why something isn't working. Okay, now it's working. Let me connect. Let me go back into broadcasting, into TV1. You get this one. And also, let's put this one forward. That isn't working. And just now noticing, let me just do something quickly, because I haven't put something important for you all. There it is. Voila. Little cheeky crown. Yippee. So yes, we have logos for the cities. Just put it here. Fantastic stuff. So as you can see, this is the Case Kingdom D Pro Series. And it's speaking of which, the crown jewel of LFM. As I said, every championship you can just join as a wildcard. You don't really have to race in every single race. You can just jump in and enjoy your time. Matter of fact, I might actually do it once or twice. There is a chance I might get back on the wheel. So you might even race with one of the commentators. In any case, you can see all the liveries. Lawrence Barroso at the moment should be the first car to put a lap down. And if you just joined the live stream because you're used to only Thursdays from 8 o'clock CEST, in this case, CET in general, welcome, I'm Cristiano Romano, and we are now here in the Case Kingdom D Pro Series, following the PTT Porsche Cup that just happened at 7 o'clock. So you have yet another series to follow, and it was frantic and frenetic and full of action. And honestly, it's better if you just watch it back, because it was phenomenal in every sense. Everything happened, and it really seemed like a Porsche Super Cup race. Without really without really lying, it really seemed like a Porsche Super Cup race. There were more cars damaged than there were cars intact. I just have to say this. And there was action and something to talk about in every single second. So if you just joined for the Pro race, just give a look to the Porsche Cup. It was interesting, to say the least. In the meantime, we are now in Donington. So what can I say about Donington? Well, it is a track located in United Kingdom, and it was once well, Donington is famous in F1 for a different reason. A lot of incidents and championship battles have been decided here, but its history is very long. It actually was built in 1931, and close by there is the airport, which provides Nottingham with all the passengers. It's obviously a private airport. It's not a giant and public one. It's the civil airport, let's call it. And yes, as I said, it was a lot of series. It was a lot of series. It was Formula One, MotoGP. Back in the something's not working. Okay. As Eric Elefante now is in the lead, 25.5. I wanted to give you some history, but I have to remember that effectively it's a very short track, this one here. 25.5 at the moment for Eric Elefante. Tim Kreuzelberg follows in second place. 10 minutes to go in the Dynamic Motorsport by Kalinic. George Buffi, third place for the number 1. But as I was saying, it was built in 1941, then closed down, then reopened in 1977. Currently, it hosts the Superbike, the BTCC, the British GT, the BSB, and the TCR UK. But it also hosted the Formula 1 in 1993, the European Grand Prix. It was the GT1, the Sports Car Championship, and the FIA GT back in the day. So also the DTM for 2 years. Very famous, and as Granato Caracas is now leading in the Visceral Esport Ferrari. Very famous, but also very short, as I said. It's not a lengthy racetrack, only 4 kilometers long, 12 turns, and the current lap record is held by none other than an AutoGP from 2013. Of all the cars available, it was an AutoGP. Yes, unfortunately, we have this record to talk about. George Buffi now in second place in a Lexus, in the 1,000 years old Lexus. Finally, next year, probably, eventually. I don't really hope on it. There's going to be the LFA Sussex, and Kevin Bellick just steals second place, as I mentioned it. Number 18, currently in second in the Lamborghini, which also goes into retirement with the Huracan, and entering with the Temerario. Tim Kreuzelberg, apparently nobody can have the second place. Tim Kreuzelberg in the old spec Aston Martin, the new one has better rear arch cover and the rear, okay, as I said it, and rear bump. Rear bumper. Mika Vlugen now in second place in front of Eric Elefante in the Aston Martin for AX Racing Team, and Eric Elefante now in third for Energy Sim Racing. And then number 3 now exiting in his Honda. He's back in the Honda apparently. The Mustang is no more. Friendship ended with Mustang, and now Honda is back to being my best friend for Eric Elefante. And Mika Vlugen now exits the pit lane, just in the middle of the traffic. Now half of the qualifying session remains, and there's someone with the old spec Porsche. Who is that? Who is that one? I want to know your name. Who are you? Andrea Grandi? Is he? Actually, this is the dynamic livery. Oh, it seemed like the dynamic livery. It was actually the number 20. Where it intensifies on the old spec Porsche. So Christian Bucher finds himself with a very odd choice, to say the least. But in any case, Granato Caracas, I'm not really sure why everybody is showing us session ended. Let me just try something. No, okay, I just can't. Okay, maybe. Okay, CCTV is not really cooperating with me tonight. For different reasons than the usual ones. Okay, now we're back. Granato Caracas, as I said, currently leading the whole field. Mika Vlugen, second place at the moment. Enrico Elefante follows in third, with Tim Kreuzelberg in fourth place. Kevin Bellick in fifth. Only 15 milliseconds between Vlugen and Caracas, and then another 37 between Caracas and Elefante, and 65 between Kreuzelberg and Caracas. And to get to a second, we have to go somewhere. Unfortunately, ACC is quite glitched tonight. I'm not really sure why, as half the grid is a bit skewed. It's Donington, I think, that's ruining my day, because I do remember that Donington is a bit glitched as in times and pit lanes and everything for the race control. 4 minutes and a half to go to get into the races actually. Remember, it's 2 races. The first one is a 20 minute sprint race, and then we have the 40 minute main one where you have to pit at least for 25 seconds. Points are being given on a proportional basis. So 40% for the first race and 60% for the second race, which will have top 15 revest. They should beat. Good evening, Maurizio. Welcome in the stream. Make a look at the moment, possibly with a purple lap. I say possibly because only a couple of corners were passed, and it just went off track. So we are going to switch to Carrera, who even him currently purple, and it just went off again. So yeah, not really lucky on that regard. Josh Buffy only 6th at the moment. Only 6th, and not improving. Actually, very few people are improving. Joao Cavaca, for can trade for Berlitz Racing Team. Currently 19th place and about to improve by 3 tenths of a second as he arrives at the very final corner. And that's Cavaca in 12th place now. Up 6 places from 18th to 12th. And only 2 minutes and a half remain. But still, nobody improved their own lap time. Again, apologies that the tower is not really working properly. I have no idea why. I have no idea how to resolve it either. As Mika Blugan just went off track trying to chase the purple lap, which just came on for Eric Delfante and just turned off again. Milan Kiss now 14th place. So Delfante actually is very, very close on his own lap time. Grant Caracas, even for him, purple lap that enlightens. Now Eric Delfante back on his purple, 1/10 only below himself after exiting the chicane. Now can he maintain this little gap which would skyrocket his position from 3rd to 1st as the Lexus number 1 is just in front of him? Will it be an impeding factor? No, actually, maybe it's just some help. And Eric Delfante is now leading the pack in 1st place, 25.187 for the Italian driver. Grant Caracas follows in 2nd as you can see Jan Buscher now in 11th place. Who jumped? Oh, it was, apologies, it was Joao Cavaca in 10th place, completing his qualifying session into the top 10 from 18th from about 10 minutes ago. Not even actually, it was 5 minutes ago. He was in 18th. He's now in 10th place. George Booby back on a quick lap. Amedeo Casarino steals Cavaca's place. Apologies, Ulrich Van der Meer gets in front of Amedeo Casarino, who steals Joao Cavaca's place. And Vladimir, we can go on for another lap. The number 10 is now in 9th place with a 25.685, a pole lap being a 25.187. Still improving, George Booby in a 255 competition by girl setups. Can the number 1 get into row number 1? Or can Delfante improve even more? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of colors in my race control. The question is, will Booby be able to maintain his own rhythm, or will he slow down as the flag waves? 2nd place, only behind Delfante, who remains in 1st place, and Krieselberg 6th place for Dynamic Motors by Kalinic. Aston Martin number 11, Mika Blugan now in 5th after Mattia Max managed to get himself in 4th place in the Honda. Still a couple of cars that are improving. We've got the number 10 of Vandimir. Not improving. The 24 of Fludman going into the pits. The number 7 of Duvillard improving by 2 tenths. Again, number 7. Oh, that's a jump of 8 places for Duvillard. From 16th to 8th place for the number 7. And Castorino also jumps another place for Velocitas Masters. 10th place for the number 6. Good to see him back on the Pro Series. Lorenz Barrossem also improving, gets in 15th. And Silverio in 23rd now. With GTR that goes back into the pits. David Godz for Master Race Car completes qualifying by improving his own place by a couple of spots. 24th place on the grid for Godz. As the grid is now being set with a Lexus. Earlier on I said 1,000 years old Lexus because it is. It is old. Like, please retire the car. Toyota, I beg you. You can say just one more year with your Lexus RCF, please. It's been nearly 10 years. Now, according to the rumors, no, seriously speaking, according to the rumors, the newer version should be revealed in short time, and it could be racing as early as the Daytona 24-hour in the IMSA WeatherTech Championship. So this is approximately the window in which we could see this car working on track, which would be phenomenal considering this car has been testing for I don't even know how many years at this point. Every year it's, trust me, next year it will come out, and every year it's maybe not. I just changed my idea. So yeah, maybe next year is the correct one for the LFB to come out because it's the successor of the LFA. But we will see, obviously. Now into the grid, Enrico Fante for Energy Sim Racing starts in first place. Beside him, the George Booby in the 258 competition by Go Setup. The number 1 will start in the Lexus RCF Granted Caracas for Visceral Esports with a livery that reminds me of an Iron Lynx that won Spa 24-hour. Mattia Max Alpha Racing Team will start in 4th place. Mika Vluggen, the Dutch driver for X Racing Team, will start in 5th place. 6th place for Team Krudelberg. The number 11 will start in 6th for Dynamic Motorsport by Carnage. Kevin Berlick in the number 18 for Berlick GT Racing, the Frenchman, will start in 7th in front of Peter De Villard, who at the very last lap jumped 8 places to put his Velocity Viper McLaren in 8th in front of Timon Stemma for Berto Brothers in the car number 23. Amedeo Castorino, the Italian, for Velocitas Master, will start in 10th, the very tail end of the top 10. Ian Busher, we already mentioned him in the earlier race. For Everbeat Intensified, it will start in 11th place. Ulrich Vandimir, the Dutch for X Racing Team with Honda NSX with brown GP kind of livery that was being used in GT in 12th, in front of Joao Cavaca in 13th place and Samir Foch in 14th place with the old Ferrari. Lorenz Barrossem in number 12 for Unicorn Racing will start in the 296 GT3 in 15th place in front of David Lindblom. The Swedish driver will start for Pix Pilots in 16th place. Milan Kiss, and he is in 17th, in car number 17. The Hungarian will start in front of Artem Stakalovsky, the number 27 for Bisonahi Community. Nierka Sav, 19th place for the Master Race Car Mustang. So still a Mustang is around. The Huracan, Starter Motorsport, which retires this year to give the spot to the Temerario. 20th place for Jay Stevens, 21st for Kobe McVeigh. The British driver in his home turf will start in front of Sasha Fasner in the Bentley LFM Esports. The number 5, only 22nd, so not a great qualifying for him. Miguel Silverio, 23rd LK Motorsport Racing, even him in the Lexus. David goes 24th for Master Race Car, and the number 26 Aston Martin will start in front of starting ourselves Carrera, maybe, in the Nissan GTR. And Team Flag will start in 26 in the Aston Martin for the Stellar Racing Team. The German driver will be ahead of Daniel Steiner with Voigas Racing. I think that's a Samantha Tan livery in the 27th place. 28th for Adam Fences in the Simurais Racing Team. Chris Casa, 30th place for the Georgian driver for Safe Track, and 30th place for Christian Buescher in the old Porsche 911. Jens Pludemann, number 24, the German Ferrari Predator Sim Racing, will start in 31st, and Andrea Grandi 32nd in the black and lime Porsche, and completing your 33 cars field, Mario Hoffman in the Colorworks Racing Team Nissan GTR. Usually it. So, final moments before the race starts. And we all certainly expect mayhem to unfold. Remember, 20 minutes race. This one here, that's the first one. Then there is a second race, a 40 minutes one, in which you also have to pit, but not really. Oh no. Okay, where is my water bottle? How did I lose a water bottle? Ah, way better. And remember, hydrate yourself, because I usually don't really hydrate myself. Anyway, Ariel Fante, the Italian, will start in front of Bubi. Maurizio going for the cheerleader approach, trying to cheer on Eric Del Fante, and probably he hopes it works. Obviously, as I always mention, if there is something you want to question me on the race, on the tactic, on everything, just write in chat and I will be happy to answer every of your questions. In the meantime, second week of the Case Quintodi Pro Series, Ariel Fante will be your leader of the race for the time being, as George Bubi starts alongside him, and it's green light, and away we go. It was a very good start by the Italian. George Bubi, practically the same for both of them, and Granat Caracas just follows in third place. Oh, that's actually Caracas, who now jumps into second place in front of Bubi. Mattia Kemex now fourth, remains fourth. Timo Stemmer actually jumps a position there, and as you can... Oh, there's a contact between Bubi and Caracas, probably Bubi being a bit hopeful on the Ferrari's lines, and that was a car going extremely wide. That was Kevin Bellick losing every single place he achieved in qualifying. He is now in, I have no idea which position, 24th place for how down it tumbled down the grid. We'll see a possible replay if there is time for it. Mattia Max still behind George Bubi, can have a chance with his Honda, as Timo Stemmer now in 7th place, gaining 2 places from the start of the race. Amedeo Castellino, the other Italian, is now in 8th place. Jan Buescher now sits in 9th, and Peter Duvilar now in 10th after losing 2 positions from the start of the race. Nerka Sav making the overtake on Artem Sekalovsky, who may lose another position, this time on Jay Stevens. And back in front, there is a bit of an argy-bargy between Samir Forsch and Joao Cavaca, with the number 15 Ferrari that defends against Samir Forsch, the Latvian driver. On the outside, it tries on the hairpin, a bit difficult for him. The content creator is now in 13th place. Joao Cavaca remains in 12th. Actually, Loren Varrosim may be able to jump Samir Forsch 4th position, and Varrosim also remains behind, so no change of positions. I'm very curious at what happened early on between Kevin Bellick, now in 23rd, and whoever was also involved. And Timo Stemma now directly following Team Kruseberg and by sensitive property also Mika Blugen just ahead. As you can see, this little train being formed by Mika Blugen, Timo Kruseberg, Timo Stemma, Emilio Costarino, Ian Buscher, and Peter De Villar, and Julik Van der Meer, and Yao Kawaka. Oh, okay, everyone else basically. This long train, as you can see, never ends. I tried to find an end, but actually, it was a mistake there by Team Kruseberg. On the grass he goes, and that's Team Stemma in 6th place, and also wants to make the same contact between Aston and the McLaren. The McLaren gets 7th place with Team Kruseberg losing 2 places in one go. That's 6th place. In the meantime, Peter De Villar also managed to gain the position of Ian Buscher, who now sits on the inside. So that's possibly another position being lost for Team Kruseberg. Ian Buscher doesn't complete the pass, actually sits behind and may get overtaken by Peter De Villar on the outside. He tries into turn 1, and the McLaren, can he get the move on the AstroTurf, trying to use the traction instead of the optimal racing line, and the Ferrari remains in front. Ian Buscher still in 9th. They both lost some time on the car in front. Peter De Villar has to think about something else to get in front of Ian Buscher, maybe this time. Maybe can this time. The McLaren still follows Ian Buscher, who now sits a second behind his rival. In front of the pack, Ariel Fante still leads the way, and Grantas Caricas still in second. Josh Booby, 3rd place, and Mantia Max follows in 4th. It's a pretty stable situation here. In the meantime, Timo Stemma may be able to do the same, but this time on Mika Blugen, who also went on the grass, losing some time on MX. As you can see, Blugen now 1.3 behind, as there is a lot to unpack here. Milan Keys in front of David Lindblom. The Swedish driver loses the position on Keys, and the Hungarian driver is now in 15th place. In the meantime, Loren Van Rossem on the outside of Samir Forsh. Once again on the outside he tries, but once again he has to remain behind. He doesn't complete the pass, and the method doesn't translate in a completed action. So it's up for grabs for the next time around. Purple lap at the moment is at 25.6. It doesn't really count as a purple lap, considering only 1 lap effectively passed, but it's a good metric for everybody else, considering you can see on the bottom right of your screen the lap times of every driver. Timo Stemma last lap around 25.6, so definitely this driver has chance to get very high in the grid. He started pretty low in 9th place. He already jumped 3 places, and there could be a 4th one in the making. Here in the chicane, can he have a better exit? He actually has a better exit, but also a track limit violation to his name. Remember, 3 track limits, that's a drive-through. You can't really oppose to that. Maybe I have some time to get back into what happened to the number 18 from early on. So yes, I can do it. So this is what happened very early on. Let's see, this is Kevin Bellick point of view. No, actually it's not the point of view, it's better like this. Kevin Bellick, as you can see on the outside, was it a contact? Or was it just... Oh, it was a contact, unfortunately it was a contact. As Kevin Bellick had to crawl on the grass, practically. Very unfortunate, it was a contact with the McLaren. And it didn't really help that he also lost a tiny bit, not a much, not by much, but a tiny bit. He lost the rear traction, and so he got sent into the grass. And now his journey for tonight's round is going to be pretty steep. If you're interested, Kevin Bellick at the moment is in 23rd place only, unfortunately. It's very important because he was starting very high in the grid, as he was starting 16 positions higher. Stema still tries something in the meantime. A lot has changed here. Now Stekalowski, 20th place at the moment. Kevin Bellick, speaking of which, now in 22nd, maybe even 21st, as Kobe McVeigh is his next target. Realistically, Kevin Bellick's best chance at the moment is getting somehow into 15th place as he dives into the inside, and the Lamborghini is now in 21st place. 15th is a long way ahead. Milan Keys at the moment is keeping the position, as Kobe McVeigh still tried to defend, but by doing so actually lost the position on the Lexus for a very brief moment, as a bit of contact between McLaren and Lexus translates in actually a change of position. McVeigh probably tried to get physical to try to maintain a position, but the Lexus gets ahead of the McLaren. Question mark, because yes, it is a cutback maneuver, and McVeigh is back in front of the Lexus. So that's Miguel Silverio back in 23rd place, and now back in 22nd. The McLaren has to put himself in the middle of the duo, and the Aston Martin that's got getting in 23rd, and Grandi so starting in very backyard of the field, now in 25th place. Maybe even 24th. Yes, he goes for a dive. It then goes for a dive. Can it be another place lost for McVeigh? Remember, he was fighting for 21st at the start of the lap, and now he's 24th, maybe 25th even. But actually he defends well, and he remains at least 24th. Back on the front of the field, Timon Stema, last lap round, 26.2. Mika Vlugen was actually quicker on lap number 6. And lap number 5, this is the lap number 6. And lap number 5, it was a 5.9 for Vlugen and a 5.8 for Castorino. So now Stema is, I want to say struggling, because as you can see, the pace is easily influenced by the fact that there is a car in front. And speaking of which, that car in front may soon become one in the back. And actually, Vlugen was able to commit harder on the chicane. And realistically, Vlugen is defending as much as he can to remain in front of Stema, and this is just helping the duo behind him, because Casino and Krusberg are now very close. In the meantime, Van Rossem, what happened to Van Rossem? Now in 16th place, he lost the position on both Lindblom and Kiss. One was good, and the other not so much, because remember, 15th place here means pole position next. So you can also play your cards if you are in that place, and try to slow yourself down a bit to get 15th. Who knows? So now there is the entire pack from 5th to 10th place. Well, actually, Jan Busch is very much behind now. Now Sasha Wasner loses the position on Jay Stevens. So Wasner's race so far has been tremendous. And the number 5 is not really having a good time, battling for 18th place in front of Jay Stevens again. But the Lamborghini collides with the Bentley, and also behind, that's Kevin Bellick back in the fight. It's 3 wide on the secondary straight with a Bentley that remains in front of Lamborghini on the duo of Lamborghini, and also that's Kevin Bellick that doesn't manage to overtake Stevens. He remains in 20th place. Realistically, Bellick's objective is 15th, which is not that far away, but the time is not on his side. Only 8 minutes remain. And he has to move. So he dives into the inside of the hairpin. Oh, actually there's a contact between the Lamborghini. Oh no, it's Kevin Bellick is sideways in the middle of the racetrack, tumbling down the grid. And that's his comeback run over. That's his comeback run over. 30 seconds for the number 18. And I'm genuinely sad about it, because it was going so well for him. Let's have a look at the look from the Hurricane. It was very unfortunate too, because The Lamborghini in front was very wide on entry. He thought about a possible move, but then chain reaction with the Aston behind him. And that's the comeback run over for Kevin Bellick. Completely bummed considering he was starting in 7th place. As the fight for 5th goes on. Carlos Caracas sets a purple lap, 25.2, and it's a net gain of 2 times on the Fante. 7 minutes remain, so a handful of lap still on the making. And we could expect an entire shuffle in any moment. So Mika Vlugen at this point is just trying to keep his position stable. I doubt we can see a battle for position with Mattia Max and Mika Vlugen. Can say the same about Sema and Vlugen, obviously. But look at this. Have a look at this. Grantas Caracas and Eric Del Fante are now one after the other. That's our first place. George Wolf we now, yeah, about 5 seconds behind. I'm starting to see if it was a glitched gap or not. It is 5 seconds. Effectively, Grantas Caracas on the outside. He tries on the second to last hairpin. Nothing comes out of it. It was a pretty opportunistic move, but probably it was more of a move to test the grounds, to see where the Italian lacks pace. Last lap it was a 5.7 for Caracas, 5.9 for Del Fante, 5.9 for Booth B2, but at this point I really doubt he will be an opponent for the lead. And in 5th place we got Vlugen's 6.2, Stemmer 6.2, Castorino's 6.2, Kriselberg's 6.1, and the Bushers 5.9, so the battle is still on there. Five minutes. And the number 2 in 2nd place probably wants some more. Well, wants the first, wants the lead, and wants to be ahead of the Honda. But the Ferrari can't really make it here. The Energy Sim Racing is still ahead of the Ferrari. Nothing changed here, although Del Fante was a bit wider on the apex compared to Caracas, who was a bit closer to the curbs on the inside. But as you can see, the Honda is very good on acceleration compared to the Ferrari. And to be fair, the Ferrari is not the best on acceleration. In the meantime, Ulrich van der Meyer defending against Joao Kawaka for 11th place. And for 5th, Vlugen still defending. Now the gap between Caracas and Del Fante 8 times. It's a bit of a slow lap. Not really, considering only 2 times were lost by Caracas, so probably something happened into turn 1, a mistake, I suppose. And now, Stemmer has to look behind, because look at this McLaren. Now, you're considering it's very close, but even him has to look behind, because Tim Kreuzenberg is on the offensive. It's a 4-way fight for 5th place, although it may become for 4th. As Mattia Max has lost a lot in the last lap, 3 times only in the last lap being lost for Max. None of them are pushing forward for a move. And actually, it is now a fight for 4th. Max slowed down massively. What has happened here to Mattia Max? He lost another chunk of temps as Milan Kiss overtakes Samir Foch. for 13th place. So yeah, something clearly happens right now to Mattia Max, because he has been losing time twice now in the last 2 laps. So wonder if there is something wrong with his car. Maybe it's fuel related or tire related. 6.6 for Mattia Max, 6.0 for Blugen, 6.1 for Sema, 6.8 for Castorino, and 6.6 for Kriselberg, who had to slow down because of the car ahead of him. So Elefante still ahead, 2 minutes remain, so yeah, I think, no, it's not I think, it is like this. Next lap is going to be the final lap. But remember, whoever arrives in first now starts in 15th, and vice versa. So, as it stands, David Lindblom is leading in race number 2. Down in 15th place in the car number 9. And Elefante 5.6 in the last lap, 5.5 for Caracas, 5.5 for Delfante now, and 5.6 for Caracas. So they just swapped lap times. Maybe it's not actually the last lap. By a mere second, there may be another lap. Because they arrived at the line with 1 minute and 26 seconds to go. So I can't say for certain if it is the white flag or not. Stema will probably treat this lap, the number 13, as if it was the last lap, because he has to move, and he can't really hope for something different. Or maybe Stema will remain behind. Blugen at this point, Castorino is very far away, so he might just capitalize on the fact that he will have a better position compared to Blugen on the next race. At the same time, Mattia Max, another loss for Max. He is now holding everybody up. Not everybody, since Blugen may be on point to make a pass. He goes on inside, and that's the Honda going completely out of line. He loses several positions. In the meantime, Eric Delfante actually takes the white flag now, brought to you by CaseKing.de. So Mattia Max is now struggling a lot. You can see him, and you can see that's the car out of fuel. That's Mattia Max out of fuel. Disaster for Mattia Max. I only suppose he's out of fuel. Yeah, he's lift and costing. Definitely. He can't get to the line otherwise. And he's short shifting too. So now Jan Buscher overtakes him, and same goes for Peter Dular. So, definitely a disaster for Mattia Max, now 10th. Can he remain 11th? At least, no, not really. Another loss of positions. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th probably, as Gantas Caracas just went extremely wide, trying a possible move at the very final moment, but he wasn't able to do so. And Eric Delfante will win the first of the 2 races here at Donington, in front of Gantas Caracas in 2nd place, and Josh Booby completing your podium. In the meantime, what is also happening here? Samir Foch is in 12th, remains in 12th, Milan Kiss in 13th, David Lindblom in 14th, Lorenz Van Rossem in 15th. Ilka Sav, and I'm searching for someone else, but I can't find him. And Mattia Max in the pits. He wasn't even able to complete the race. Mattia Max will start last. Disaster. Technically speaking, disaster for Max. So we got Mika Blugen in 4th, Timo Stemmer in 5th, Middle Castellin in 6th, Kruseberg in 7th, Buchen in 8th, Divilar in 9th, with Vandermeer completing your top 10, Joao Cavaca, Samir Porsche, Milan Kiss, David Lindblom, and Lawrence Van Rossen will start in pole position for race number 2. Nili Kasav just outside, 3 seconds off. And Sasha Wagner in 17th, Jay Stevens in 18th. David Goss 19th with 20th for Artem Stakolowski. But disaster for Mattia Max. Out of fuel at the very last lap. He was slowing down way too much, way too quickly. And the last lap, it was just that second. Effectively, Eric Del Fante eliminated his opponent in a way. Didn't count for a bit of a quicker lap. And by a single second, that's the difference between being in 4th place and being in 31st. So Kevin Bellick also will start at the tail end of the grid, 33rd for him, unfortunately. So, a good chunk of surprises. As another surprise is on the number 5, Sasha Wagner, only 17th. He wasn't able to clinch into 5th. The Bentley driver, which is not in the lobby anymore, will start in 17th place. So in terms of standings, let's see, before the race gets counted, Ariel Fante Michael Frey is not in this race, so he will have a void round for Hungaroring. Milan Kiss, effectively in a bit of trouble, considering he arrived in 13th place. But he will start in 3rd. Next race, Wojtek Nurf is not racing. Duvilar currently in 9th. Joao Cavaca in 11th. And Museman, who also wasn't here in this race. So with the fact that there is a drop round, it's a bit difficult to account for everything. See if the lobby has been... Okay, never mind. In all of these, we'll now go through the penalties in race number 1. Because there hasn't been many, luckily. There was a 15-second time penalty for the car number 21. Ooh, can you... Okay, can't. So the car 21 receives a penalty. Just quit. And it was Daniel Steiner. Amedeo Castorino also received a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, so he was actually deemed at fault for what happened to Kevin Bellick. And the other one was a 15-second time penalty for causing a collision. Artem Stekalowski received that one. I suppose it was the very same that happened to the number 18, matter of fact. So it was that one. No, apologies. It was, no. Oh yeah, the number 18, yeah, it was the contact that led to the spin to the number 18. So, definitely that, but actually, Amedeo Castorino had a penalty regarding number 11. Which was... Tim Kruseberg. Okay, but obviously the penalties have to be counted after the race, not for the race itself. Like, I will explain better. Basically, you get penalized after the round has been completed, because otherwise a penalty could give you a better position for the second race. So in this case, as you can see, Donington is now on. Amedeo Casino is 6th, but he has a 5-second time penalty that will be counted after the race. So he will be scored as 11th. Huh? Oh wait, yes, just in front of Samir Foch. So he will be counted as 11th, but he will start the race, number 2, as he completes the race in 6th place. So in 9th place, because otherwise he would get an advantage and he will start in 4th place. And this is the full classification. As you can see, Lawrence Van Rossem, 15th place. He will start at the very first grid of the field. Nir Kassav unfortunately just missed out by a couple of seconds on a pole position. And then you can see down the grid, same applies to everybody else that has been penalized, obviously. You can see down the grid, unfortunately, a couple of names, Mattia Max, Out of Fuel, and Kevin Berrick, that had the contact with Amedeo Castorino. Apologies, had a contact with the McLaren, number 25. It has been deemed as a race incident. But unfortunately, he also had another incident, but with the car number 27, in which the 27 was deemed at fault. That was the final spin at the final hairpin that we saw early on. In any case, let me see if I can join the second race already. Probably the answer is no. No, I cannot. Fantastic stuff. So I have to copy this one here. Go into here. Okay, no, the server is not alive yet. That's why. Maybe it's because of this. Let me just try something here. Okay. Okay. Now it should work. Well, not really, because the chassis is not live yet. But I don't think there is the CC connector on. So maybe I can just these technical issues are just because of timing, not for anything else. In the meantime, let me put forward the current standings for the Kicking.de Pro Series. Elefante currently leads with more than 150 points of advantage on Peter Duvidar. Milan Keys follows, Amedeo Castorino in 4th, Yao Cavaca in 5th, Josh Buffy in 6th place. But realistically, at this point, the championship standings don't really matter, considering there is a drop run to count for. Championship just started, and etc, etc, etc. Okay, found the server. Oh no. Oh no, I have terrible news for whoever has to drive this. Because it's raining. As in classical British fashion, one race is dry with the sun and the other is pouring. And yes, it is a situation like this, as not only there is a top 15 to sparkle things up, but also This is now the rain. The possible rain, because this is still free practice, obviously. Free practice which lasts 10 minutes. Why so long? So I have 10 minutes to talk about something. Let me just do a quick thing here. Okay. So what to say about the past race that just went through? I expect a lot more to happen now. We've got a very fierce fight up front. We've got Eric Elefante, Granted Caracas, and Josh Booby in the top 3. And as it stands, the top 3 is unreachable. They had all of them had a good advantage on whoever was in 4th. So 5 seconds. The front duo was actually 5 seconds in front of Josh Booby alone, and then he himself was another 5 seconds in front of Dutchman. As you can see, Mika Bluger was in 4th, Timo Stema. Realistically, what I do expect is probably Milankis to stay around the podium, because he is a quick driver and he is starting in 3rd in the race number 2, which will happen in 7 minutes. But I'm very impressed that Sasha Wagner is struggling so much at the moment. 17th place for the LFM driver in the Bentley. And he doesn't really seem to be able to get out of that puddle. At the beginning of the race, it seemed like it was just maybe a qualifying mishap or something, but it didn't go up the field as, for example, Kevin Bellick did, even if it was. Even if he was on a comeback run too, Bellick was gaining way more positions than his Bentley rival. So it's very odd that Fasi is struggling so much. But anyway, let me... Okay. Also, let me take a moment to analyze the calendar, the full calendar, because as you can see, also thanks to all of our partners, we've got a lot to unpack here. But I'm specifically putting my focus on the first column, obviously. As you can see, quite a different selection of racetracks. And there is a Northlife in the middle. And the Northlife, before you ask, no, it will not have a double race scenario. It will be a single race, 90 minutes, as last season. Moreover, it's obviously expected to see tracks like Monza to provide a bit of a different situation. Monza and Paul Ricard, like for example the drivers that had a very good run here in Donington and possibly in Imola will have also a very good run in, for example, Watkins and no, maybe not, Brent Sech rather, maybe even Hungaroring. So the calendar is split between quick tracks and slow ones, with Northlife being literally in the middle, because it's in the middle. Spa, Watkins Glen, I will put Watkins Glen 2 because it's a very quick track. Regardless of the fact that there are turns, Watkins Glen is a very quick track. Silverstone, will put it as a bit of a midway between a slow and a quick one. Valencia is just a good one. It's very quick too. Apart from the first sector, realistically, well, apart from the first sector except the first turn. Suzuka, which is the everything at once, which is always good. Hungaroring, which is given as a parking lot of Europe. The Monaco without barriers, even. Paul Ricard, which is the parking lot of Europe, apologies. Paul Ricard is one of those unknowns because many times he's being used in championship leagues because of the fact that it's, memes aside, it's a very nice track, even for GTs. It's a very difficult one to master completely. So we do expect something to unfold there. And then there is Monza. Monza will be tame, very likely, mainly because there will not be as many people as always. Considering it's the Christmas week, many will not be racing, very likely, on that specific week. Even because, let me have a look at the calendar. Tuesday is the 1st. The 1st of January, so I don't think people will be able. I mean, personally, I think more will be struggling with their own headaches and whatnot on the 1st. So if anything, Monza, by also being the easiest track, and maybe it's a good thing considering not many will be able to practice nor be able to race on a difficult track. Like, for example, I don't expect anybody to put the Nordschleife on the 1st of January because people will just crash into the wall purposely at this point just to stop themselves with another headache over the first one. So yeah, the 13th week will be probably a bit more tame compared to the rest. But probably Nordschleife will be quite an interesting thing there because it's just after the 24 hour. Well, not after, directly after, 2 weeks after the 24 hour. In which currently there are still chances to be part of it. Let me just find it, just to give you all the information. So at this point, it is. Where does it end? Okay, it ends on October the 29th at 9 PM, and you can still join because the qualifying session is not a first come first served. The way in which you join the race, but it's the quicker the better. So all the server gets counted, all the sessions get counted, and you can choose between GT3s, GT4s, and TCX, which is the BMW M2. There is still time to participate, obviously. You just have to join the server, and your best lap will be then recorded in a list. And if your list is if your time is in the quickest times, well, you get your pass for the Nordschleife 24 hour. Nordschleife 24 hour, which still has a couple of things to be declared, but very important, the car in which you qualify is the car that you will drive. So you can't, for example, drive with a Mustang and say, okay, I want to do GT4s. No, you can't. You have to go GT4s, mandatorily. So yeah, there is still time. Just search for the practice servers and put as many laps as you want with the password LFM24IH, and that's the password to join the race. What else to say? not really sure. In any case, it's on the home page, I think. Should be on the home page, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's on the home page, the GT3, GT4, and T6 qualifier. At the moment, 58 teams are in the GT3, 39 in GT4, and 11 in the T6. Obviously, when I said depending on the quicker you are, obviously I mean in terms of splits, so split 1, split 2, split 3, and whatnot. So yeah, there's still time for the 24 hour for you to join. It's on the 1st of November, and it will be fully broadcasted all the 24 hours, through the night, through the day, and through the conditions. In the meantime, let's go back into the race. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay, it does work. Yippee. So here we are. Can I try something? Because I want to see if I can... probably not. It's a usual quote-unquote issue that the grid obviously doesn't work with the second race. So let me just see if I can think about a way to maybe correct it, but don't think so. Yeah. Anyway, we go now into the grid. It's going to be a bit of a more primitive one. I need to see. Okay. As we got Lawrence Van Rossem being your leader of the race, as he will start at the very top end of the field. David Lindblom will be in second. Why is it? Is number 5 somewhere else? Okay, I don't know. David Lindblom is in second at the moment. Third for Milan Kiss in the number 17 Sunset Outrun, and fourth place for the number 16 Samir Foch, Latvian, will start. In fourth, Joao Cavaca will start in 5th place for Bates Racing Team. Ulrich van der Meer for AX Racing Team will be in 6th place, with 7th place for Peter de Villar in the car number 7. Ian Buescher, 8th place for the number 13 for Eurobit Intensifies, and Tim Kruseberg 9th place for the number 11. Amedeo Castorino, tail end of the top 10, number 6 will start 10th, and Timo Stemma 11th in the Petro Brothers. 12th place for Mika Vlugen, number 8 for AX Racing Team will start in front of George Bufby in number 1 255 competition by Ghost Setups. George Graz Carikas for Visual Esports, and Eric Del Fante, who won the race in the first 20 minutes for Energy Sim Racing. 16th place, just outside the top 15, Master Race Car for Nick Sav, and Sasha Fasner only 17th for the Bentley for LFM Esports. Jay Stevens will start in 18th place in the number 33, and David Goss will start in 19th place in number 26. 20th place for Artem Sekalovsky, who has a penalty to his name. Aston Martin will be ahead of Adam Penzes in the Simulator Racing Team, and Colby McVeigh in 22nd place. 23rd place for LK Motorsport Racing, the number 25 Miguel Silverio will be ahead of Daniel Steiner in the Inter Bavarian Racing Team, and the BMW will be ahead of the Nissan GTR of Stanislav Skartev in 25th place. 26th for Team Flag for SL Racing Team, the Aston Martin number 22 will be ahead of James Brudeman in the Apex Predators Racing Sim Racing AM. Chris Casa, the Georgian driver, will start in the Safe Track number 40, 28th place for him, and Mario Hoffman will start in the Colorworks Racing Team number 44. Christian Buescher, number 20, 30th place for Buescher, and Mattia Nex Unfortunately, only 31st in number 4 after running out of fuel in the first race. 32nd for the car number 32, Andrea Grandi, and Kevin Bellick only 33rd for the number 18 that had the worst possible race in existence in only 20 minutes. Both times not really his fault. The first one, he had an incident with a McLaren and he got sent into the grass. The second incident, he got spun by the number 27 that then received a penalty. So comeback run for him maybe. 40 minutes to go, and remember, a pit stop is mandatory. They have to sit in the pits for at least 25 seconds. I doubt, obviously, everybody will stay with wet tires. There is no chance for dry tires to be put, unfortunately. I would have liked a split strategy, but it will not happen. But it's going to be different, completely different compared to race number 1, even because not only you have the quicker cars behind, but also because it's raining. So double the fun, certainly double the action. Now into the chicane. So you just put this one here because I need the track map. "12 corners, 4 kilometers long, and an airport nearby." These are the informations you need about Donington. An incredible racetrack, and I actually really like it. It's not a qualifying mayhem as it is Brands Hatch, and I just don't straight up hate it as it is Silverstone. It's a very nice flow, everything flows and you can race in it, and you can have a lot of overtakes. But in any case, race number 2, 40 minutes till the end of the race, will start shortly. And it's green light, and away we go with a very good start there by the McLaren behind. I think it was one of the McLaren behind. I think it was yes, it was Medeo Castellino probably. As everybody is going. Apologies, it was Timo Stema. Timo Stema with no, I think it was Peter Di Villar. It was Peter Di Villar in McLaren that had a very good start. Jan Buscher now alongside Ulrich van der Meer defending the inside line. Van der Meer remains very, very aggressive on the situation, and Medeo Castellino jumps Peter Di Villar in the McLaren I was mentioning earlier. Granzas Carrera goes for the move on the Aston Martin of Mika Vluggen. That's the first car that gets overtaken by Carrera, now in 13th place. And the same probably applies to Josh Bubby. To Eric Del Fante, who overtakes Mika Vluggen, now in 15th place. Loren Van Rossem already has a bit of an advantage over David Lindblom. Second place, Milan Kiss now in 3rd. Samir Foch follows in 4th. Yo Kavacha 5th place. And Sasha Wagner just puts forward the overtake on Mika Vluggen, who lost a lot of time here. And also the Porsche that goes for a possible move on the Aston Martin is just tumbling down the grid. Now in 18th place, in a free wide after the second to last hairpin into Melbourne hairpin, and at the very least Mika Vluggen remains in 18th place. But it's not really a good situation for the Dutch driver that early on arrived 4th at the line the first 20 minutes. So definitely not an easy start for the Dutchman. Jakavak here. Very close to Samir Foch. This could be the podium we're talking about, even because Milan Kiss is not that far away. As Van der Meer, something to Van der Meer into the Graciers, the number 10. Let's have a very, very quick look at what happened. So I think it was all on himself. It's very likely it was all on himself. Oh, okay, he just braked on the curb, which is flooded, and then he got sent into the gravel by inertia. And after that, he now sits in 16th place. So he had it jolly to start very much ahead and to gain some places, and unfortunately he lost them all. So he's back in... Oh, Kobe McVeigh. Even him losing places, now in 23rd, he was in 18th. For number 29. Probably cutting the course by going into the gravel. Lorenz Barrosen currently sets the quickest lap time, and behind you can see Mattia Max already on the offensive, 25th at the moment, the Honda driver. Mattia Max is probably as aggressive as he can get. He needs points as he completes the overtake on McVeigh a bit aggressively, but nevertheless he goes forward, and that's Andrea Grandi that makes the overtake on Chris Casa with Mattia Max that is very interested in... Oh, there is a car off! There is a car off there! Which one it was? I think it was the car hit, but he managed to remain on track. Ian Buescher at the moment just behind Joao Cavaca and in front of Amedeo Castorino. Castorino has to gain some more points, considering he had a penalty that put him in 9th in race number 1. He still had to start quite behind on the second grid. There was a yellow flag. There was a number 19. Oh, there's a McLaren Ferrari violence, and Peter De Villar absolutely sends the car and also Stemma out of the racing line, and now Stemma has to defend against Team Kruselberg. It is just happening in front of Bubi, Caricas and Del Fante. All of them have to make moves, but at the same time have to keep themselves clean. As Daniel Steiner has been involved in an incident, clearly. The number 21. So we will stay with these fights for position, although the Ferrari probably remains behind the McLaren here in this situation. What happened to the number 21? I'm very curious about it. So several cars getting involved. So as you can see, that's a BMW for Inter Bavarian Racing Team, Daniel Steiner. Oh, he just collided with the Honda of, I think it was Van der Meer. And yeah, that was Van der Meer losing every single possible position. In the meantime, Castorino also makes the overtake on Ian Buescher on the second to last hairpin, with a bit of a contact also on Buescher, but Castorino is now in 6th place in the number 6, and also sets the fastest time. Let's see again how it happened. The on board, maybe not, maybe go from front splitter, as he's behind the Ferrari. And he just sends the race car way aggressively. And passes Ian Buescher for position. Earlier on I saw the number 18 also involving a yellow flag. Oh, maybe it was the number 19, apologies. It was number 19. And there's another car with a yellow flag, this time it is number 27. Oh! What has happened here? Again, Van der Meer getting involved. So number 10 not really having a good race. Let's see what happened. I might say I probably expect a car just getting... Oh, actually it was Van der Meer again on the grass. on himself, and then several cars actually spun on their own. 2 cars spun on their own, to be fair. And the Caracas also goes for the move on George Booby, and that's for 11th place. So now Caracas in car number 2, directly ahead of George Booby. Neric Elefante remains in 13th. And probably the Italian will try the same, as Mika Vlugen was a position on Kevin Bellick, now in 16th, and he was starting from 30th or something. Kevin Bellick is now in 16th place. Amazing job by Bellick GT Racing in his Lamborghini. Back in the fight for 5th, as Mattia Max also overtakes Andrea Grandi, and Silverio overtakes Carvacat. This little train is still composed, and it doesn't shuffle so far, unless someone goes for a drive, which someone does. Actually, it is the Ferrari of Jan Buscher that answers to Amedeo Castorino in the same way Castorino acted on Buscher, but he doesn't complete the overtake. And Italia remains in 6th place. Klugeberg now has set the purple lap, 41.6. And 30 minutes remain. You're flying through the rain. Guess so. I mean, he still is in 2nd place, so he's still holding up. So he's definitely having a good time at the moment as a Swedish driver for Pixel Pilots, ahead of Milan Keys. Last lap was a 42.2 for Lindblom, 42.197, so practically 42.2 for the leader, and Milan Keys 42.0. Oh, that's Castorino sideways into McLean's, and again sideways, this time into Copies, into number 8. But as you can see, now this train is being held up by Samir Foch, who is struggling a bit compared to the rest of the field. Now trying to defend the inside line. Oh, contact between the two. The 15 is on the outside. Castorino goes on the inside, overtakes one, maybe overtakes even two. No, actually, Joao Cavaca had a better outside run. In the meantime, also Milan Keys was trying the overtake on David Lindblom. Oh, that's Joao Cavaca that goes extremely wide, gives an opportunity to the McLaren of Amedeo Castorino, and a couple of cars went into the pits. Well, more than a couple of cars, a good chunk of cars went into the pits. They were, respectively, Milan Keys, Jan Buscher, Peter Di Villar, Elefante, Tim Kruseberg, and Timo Stemma. In the meantime, that's Joao Cavaca that remains in front of Amedeo Castorino for 4th at the moment. So, realistically, some cars went in the pits to avoid being stuck in traffic. As Samir Foch is really slowing down the field. Now the entire field practically went into the pits. The only one that remains is Amedeo Castorino, who didn't go into the pits, but possibly because he was maybe he was held up. Maybe there was a car ahead of him. I can't remember, because he should have gone into the pits because the pit window is open, and it will remain open for 20 minutes. Let's have a look at the strategies. Nobody changed tires. Literally nobody changed tires. No, actually, someone did. Tim Kruseberg changed tires for some reasons. Not sure it will help him. Definitely not sure it will help him, even because the wet tires, the Pirelli wet tires, are very, very lengthy. They have a very long lifespan, and they can go on for a lot of time before being scrubbed. And Varosen and Lindblom remain ahead, and Castorino jumps into the pits. So Grant Caracas now promoted into 5th place, and there is a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag. The hairpin. As the team flag overtakes Stanislav Kaivat, and Chris Casa also follows behind. Christian Buescher at the moment battling with Sasha Fassner for position. So definitely having a very rough day at the moment in the office. Sasha Fassner battling with Christian Buescher in the old Porsche 911, and also Kevin Bellick just behind, trying to put forward whatever he can get from this round. Daniel Steiner also overtakes Jens Pludeman as he also goes into the grass only and gets overtaken by Nirka Sav and Mattia Max2. Gracias Caricas very close to Joao Cavaca. That's for 4th place, but it's going to be a very quick pass for Caricas, who had a way better exit speed out of the chicane into 11, and that's the overtake done easily and quickly. Can say the same about George Booby, who for now remains behind and probably will put the left blinker on, unless Joao Cavaca does it, which he did. So Joao Cavaca back in the pits, and Christian Buescher trying the pass, okay, trying to defend against... oh wait, no, I missed something clearly, because Kevin Bellick is now directly ahead of Buescher. So clearly Bellick had the pass on Buescher, who lost a lot of time, 2 seconds. And Bellick now battling with Wasner. Wasner was around 15th, sort of. As Nirka Sav is off into the gravel. So that's lots of positions being lost. All of 2 actually, not a lot. Mattia Max and James Pluteman are now in front of Nirka Sav. Eric Del Fante, purple lap for the Italian driver. As now Bellick... This is a very important position actually, because I think this could actually be for the top 15. With the mixer, it's getting difficult to understand who is where. Even because there is also another fight, and this is Eric Del Fante battling for position with Duvillard, Buescher, Cavaca and Castorino. With number 15 that is trying to defend hard against all of them. As Sasha Fassner and Kevin Bellick had a contact. And I'm seeing Sasha Fassner down 2 places, so I suppose something happened between the 2. And we will see right now what exactly happened between the 18 and the number 5. So Kevin Bellick here. Let's have a look at what I suppose it was an incident. Lamborghini a bit, yeah, definitely a bit further beyond the racing line and making the Bentley go wide. In the meantime, just here you can see Jan Buescher on the inside goes, and the same applies to Peter Duvillard on the final hairpin. Peter Duvillard now in 25th. Well, now 25th, obviously it will be a different position by the end of the pit cycle. And Jan Buescher for now remains ahead of Duvillard, and Cavaca and Del Fante didn't took advantage of the situation. And as it stands, he remains behind this group of cars. Let's see if there is any penalty. There is okay. It's a long list. There was a stop and go 10 seconds for causing a mess crash for the number 19. There was a 15-second time penalty for number 26, David Goss. A 5-second time penalty for Mika Vlugen for a collision on lap 1 with the car number 20. 10-second time penalty for porting on the car of track on Artem Skalowski. A 15-second time penalty for Daniel Steiner. A 5-second time penalty for Kevin Bellick for what I suppose just happened. 10-second time penalty for the car number 11, Tim Kruselberg. And a 10-second time penalty for Stanislav Karivac for a contact with the car number 22. It was a pretty long list. So you have to... Cruiserberg. The thing is that I didn't see Cruiserberg's incident to award him so much in a penalty. 5 seconds for... no, 10 seconds. It's a big one for Cruiserberg. It just happened, obviously. We'll see afterwards, but he is in the number 11, so if something happened, probably I can see that here there was an incident. So this was apparently the 10 seconds time penalty. So let's have a look. That's Cruiserberg, and the Ferrari had... oh, yeah, that definitely was a huge incident for the 23. Timo Stemmer, that's why Timo Stemmer is so much down the grid. Because of an incident with Team Cruiserberg. 10 seconds to Cruiserberg's name. As you can see, Delfante still battling with Cavaca. Maybe this time it's going to be different. And not yet. It remains where he is. Can't get the overtake done on the car ahead. Maybe this time on the second to last hairpin he jumps into the opportunity, takes the initiative, and takes also the position on Cavaca. Who tried to go very long on the brakes, nearly actually making an incident, creating an incident with the Italian driver. As George Booby just exits. Oh, what was that? It was extremely dangerous. As a matter of fact, they both spin. That was Booby way aggressive on the matter. He jumped in the middle of the racing line. Unfortunately, it didn't click. I was clicking and it was not switching camera. The number one, that was a terrible move, to be fair. Let's have another look from here. Let's have a look from the TV too. So let's have a look. Judge Booby just goes in the middle of the racing line, tries to close the door on the McLaren, who honestly didn't have any chance to avoid it. And yeah, that was the incident between George Booby and Peter Di Villar. And I suppose I can start looking at the penalty sheet, because a name will be cleared, very likely. And as it stands, Joao Cavaca remains in 23rd momentarily. It's a bit difficult to understand what is happening on track. A lot of cars haven't pitted yet, and a lot of cars are in the shuffle, but also haven't pitted yet. No, actually, all the cars in the shuffle have pitted. Everybody from Van der Meer under have pitted. So, all but the first 15 cars, as it stands. Max goes for the overtake on Daniel Steiner, and the BMW loses the position. There is a 10-second time penalty for causing collision on Andrea Grandi, as it currently stands. And still in the lead. Well, never mind, because now in the lead it is David Lindblom, as both Lorenz Barroso and Grantas Caricas enter the pit stop phase. Kevin Bellick follows now in third, as Amir Forsh still hasn't pitted, and Sasha Fasner very much behind on schedule. And more important, Mika Blugan is not having a good race. He was starting in a very nice place, and then he faded away completely. As Nir Kasav battling with David Gotts. Gotts, who has a penalty. He has a penalty of 15 seconds. Nir Kasav remains behind at this point. Can I have a look maybe at the number 19? I don't think so. That was the yellow flag I mentioned a lot of time ago. Maybe it was better to have a look. And just to ruin Vlugen's day even more, remember that he has a 5-second time penalty from lap 1, in which he was involved in an incident. And now he's battling with Mattia Max, who practically started from the backyard of the field. Kevin Bellick now leads the race, and Mattia Max goes into the pits. So now everybody behind Nir Kasav, so still a good chunk of cars remain. Milan Kis has to defend against Grantas Caracas, who pitted as late as he could, and now he finds himself just behind Lawrence Van Rossem and Milan Kis. Lawrence Van Rossem, who started the race on pole position, so realistically this is for the podium or even better. So everybody but the top 6 cars have pitted. And Enrico Delfante is not really having a pleasant race so far. He is still very much behind his rival. Grantas Caracas is now in 9th. Delfante is now in 13th. And Boothby is in 15th at the moment. As a couple of cars there went into the grass. That was Ian Bush and Samir Foch. As speaking of Boothby, he just overtook David Lindblom, who had a very long pit stop. Lindblom tries to go on the cutback on Boothby, and that's Lindblom trying to get into a fight with Boothby, but also at the same time it was Grantas Caracas managing a pass on Milan Kis. As also Josh Boothby overtook once more David Lindblom. As Van Rossem now has Grantas Caracas behind, and that's the lead of the race effectively, as also Eric Delfante overtakes Ian Busher on the second to last hairpin. And so now Delfante is in 11th. All but the first 5 cars haven't pitted yet. In the meantime, can I try something? Let me see, maybe I can do it. Want to see if I could catch the overtake between Caracas and the Honda in front. No, that's way too early. No, not yet. Maybe I can't. Let me just try something else. So this is the overtake that happened early on Milan Kis. So this was the number 2 getting the pass done on Lawrence Van Rossem, on Milan Kis. Speaking of which, now Lawrence Van Rossem just lost the position on Grantas Caracas. So that's more for the win of the race. And behind, Amedeo Castorino is also very, very keen on trying to make a move in front. So Grantas Caracas effectively is now leading the race. The battle for the podium is still on, with Lawrence Van Rossem And Milan Kiss and Amedeo Castellino still battling. Samir Foch is 3 seconds behind, and Elio Fante very far away considering the situation. Maybe Van Rossem a bit slow there considering he was on the AstroTurf, and traction control kicked in, and that's Milan Kiss overtaking Loren Van Rossem. The pole sitter loses the position, gains it again, and Amedeo Castellino gains the position on Milan Kiss. Now Amedeo Castellino is technically in 4th place, and Van Rossem says thanks for an opportunity. Probably Castellino will say thanks when eventually an overtake will happen. With 11 minutes to go. As also Eric Del Fante threw the car. Oh, there's a contact! Oh, and that's a spin! Eric Del Fante has been spun by Ian Busher. Oh, into the wall too. That's the number 3 off. That's the number 3 off the top 15, the top 20 even. Or maybe not yet. Del Fante out of his position, 18th place now for the Italian. We saw exactly how it happened, but we will put the replay forward anyway. A tremendous situation for the championship, as contact ensured between Buscher and Del Fante, and now the Italian is only in 17th place. 5-second time penalty for the car number 9, David Lindblom, for causing a collision. So David Lindblom, who started in 2nd, will have a 5-second time penalty for contact with the number 1. As Timo Stema also overtakes Joao Cavaca for 12, which translates in probably 9th. As the pit window now closes. And so this is the field effectively. Grantes Caracas in 1st, Lorenz Van Rossem in 2nd, and Amedeo Castellino in 3rd. Speaking of battle for the win, let's see again how the situation unfolded between the 12 and the current leader. So this was the late part of the overtake. Lorenz Van Rossem loses here definitely the position. There was a contact between number 1 and number 9, which put a penalty on the number 9's name. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, it was definitely a little tap between the two. And in the meantime, I wanted to also put forward the incident regarding the Italian that was leading the championship, and now Amedeo Castellino is entered inside. Lorenz Van Rossem loses 2nd place, and that's 3rd now for Lorenz Van Rossem, with the Italian now in 2nd. Bit of discussion there between the two, but I think it's pretty definitive that Castellino has the 2nd place with 8 minutes to go. Van Rossem follows another time, another place that gets stolen, but at the very least he's still in the podium. But early on, very early on, I said Milan Kiss had a chance to get into the podium, and that chance is still there. The yellow and black Ferrari can still have a say into the podium situation, as he is on a very dangerous position, maybe making a bit of a contact with the rear left fender from Lorenz Van Rossem. So he stands, the Unicorn Racing stays in front of the Southset Outrun. So can Milan Kiss have a chance now for second place? Actually, no, he remains behind. Ooh, that's Van Rossum going a bit slower and wider. Opening a very little but possible chance to get a move. No, it doesn't. In the meantime, Kruseberg also overtook Joao Cavaca for 10th place. Aldo Cavaca is still on the inside, he remains. And there is a possible switchback. No, there isn't. Kruseberg was a bit too quick to create a switchback. And so Joao Cavaca for now remains ahead, although there is a little tap between the two cars. The Aston Martin now widens itself into the tire line, and also the Honda behind it's David Lindblom trying to put this very same move on Joao Cavaca, who loses the position number 11 for a moment. As the Honda is back on 12th place, maybe 11th, maybe 12th. And the Ferrari actually has the better hand, the better line. Not so sure. Still side by side. Azeria Delfante also back to fight for places. And that's the Honda that has the better result. Joao Cavaca loses 2 places in 1 lap. Oh, there is a contact between Eric Delfante there and the Porsche of Christian Buescher. And speaking of Eric Delfante, the number 3 was involved in an incident just some little time ago. And in this very same place in which Eric Delfante throws the car a bit aggressively, more than a bit, and gains the position on Joao Cavaca. At the same time, also Peter De Villar and Ian Buescher switched positions. David De Villar is now in 6th place. Let's have a look. And now it happened. On the inside he goes. A switchback maneuver for a moment. But then the McLaren was already on the inside of the last hairpin. And also, Ian Buescher went extremely wide on the wetter part and lost the position. Ian Buescher also lost the position now on George Bubby. So now Ian Buescher is in 8th place. And for who has missed the incident between the number 3 and apologies, between Eric Delfante and the number 3 and the number 13, this is how it happened. Let's go from the helicam. You can see as Eric Delfante was following Samir Foch into turn 11. And speaking also of Ian Buescher, then a little tap ensured spinning the Ferrari, which I think is also a bit lagging. And unfortunately that was a huge loss. In the meantime, Kevin Bellick on the inside goes, and that's the position number 16, maybe 17 for Kevin Bellick. No, actually he remains in 16th, but Sasha Wagner is now defending. It's a side-by-side into the final hairpin. Oh, a little contact between the Bentley and the Honda, and that's Mattia Max who gains the position not only on Kevin Bellick but also on Sasha Wagner. That's for 15th, although the Bentley had a way better exit out of the last hairpin, so the Bentley remains in 15th place. Wagner, oh, nearly a contact between the Honda and Bellick, with Bellick remaining in his place. Actually overtaking Max. And so Bellick is now in 16th position. Quite physical there, but Bellick has to make points, and same goes to Max, to be fair. Both of them have to put forward their cars, because right now it is 16th and 17th for them, for a car that was in 4th with 2 laps to go, and 7th at the start of race number 1. Delfante right now, I'm pretty sure that it's only Delfante lagging, because every other car is quite normal for me. Delfante now in 12th place, doesn't go for a move. Can say the same here, as Bellick sends his Lamborghini Huracan, also taking monopoly off the dry line, and Wasner couldn't really defend considering he was on a wetter surface. And that's a position completed for Bellic. Also in front, Joka Vaka battling with Christian Buescher for position number 13. But as it stands, Kavaka remains 13th, Buescher 14th, and Wasner, now on the grass, loses the position on Mattia Max, so that's 17th now for Wasner, back from where he started. Definitely a weekend, well, weekend, quote-unquote weekend, to forget, a Tuesday to forget for Wasner there. Joka Vaka still defending against Christian Buescher, that's for 13th place. And these two are just slowing themselves down, with Kevin Bellic that now sits in 15th, only 1 second behind Buescher. As you heard, white flag was taken by Grantas Caracas, so for the last time these 4 kilometers will pass by. Grantas Caracas best lap of 30.6, never mind what said, Del Fante just stole it. 30.605 for Del Fante, but Caracas managed to jump from 14th to 1st, I think, which Wolfby and Del Fante weren't able to do for different reasons. Wolfby a bit, to be fair, Wolfby was a bit let's say not found. It wasn't as quick as he usually is. He sits only 7th, even considering all that has happened. He's now only 7th, so probably not a good setup in the wet for Wolfby. For once, he didn't have the absolute advantage over the entire field, and that's a first. But in any case, last hairpin for Grantas Caracas, who wins the second race of the second week of the KSK Dodi Pro Series, and that's a win for Visceral Esports. Castorino in second place for Roche Taskmaster, and Lorenz Van Rossem at the very least completes. He's not in his... Oh, okay, that's why. Lorenz Van Rossem completes in 3rd, with Milan Kiss in 4th, Samir Foch in 5th, Peter Di Villar in 6th, Josh Wolfby in 7th, which apparently he's not in his gear, he's on the Sim Racing Expo, so it makes sense. Ian Buescher in 8th, Timon Stema in 9th, 10th place for Tim Kruseberg, 11th for David Lindblom, Del Fante in 12th, Joka Vaka in 13th, Christian Buescher in 14th, Kevin Bellic in 15th, Mattia Max 16th, 17th for Sasha Wasner, Mika Vlugen only 18th, even for him a terrible race compared to what happened in race number 1. Jens Pludeman 19th, Steiner in 20th, Tim Flag in 21st, and then Vandemir, Sav, McVeigh with still the position 25 to be decided, and that's Kartavak, Katavik in 25th, 26th for Grandi, 27th for Hoffman, Chris Casa with 28th, Stekalowski 29th, Silverio 30th, and Goss in 31st. But to this, we have to add a lot of other penalties, because Ian Buescher himself has received a 15 seconds time penalty for spinning the number 3. The number 18 of Kevin Bellic has been issued a 5-second time penalty for forcing another car off track on lap number 24. And then all the other penalties, so I will just go with all of them because it's a lot of penalties. So we got 10-second stop and go penalty for a mass crash for Adam Penzes, 15-second time penalty for David Goss, 5-second time penalty for Mika Vlugen, 10-second time penalty for Adam Stekalowski, 15-second time penalty for Daniel Steiner, 5-second time penalty for Kevin Bellic for a collision with the car number 8, 10-second time penalty for Team Kruseberg for a collision with the car number 23. 10-second time penalty for Stanislav Kartevich for a collision with car number 22. 5-second time penalty for Kevin Bellick, again, for a collision with the car number 18, number 5. 10-second time penalty for Andrea Grandi for causing a collision with car number 14. David Lindblom, 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with car number 1. And Ian Busher, 15-second time penalty for spinning the car number 3. And Kevin Bellick, 5-second time penalty for a total of 15 for throwing the number 4 off track. It was a very long list. The server literally doesn't exist anymore. Let me just go here quickly so I can at least do something. It took a while to get to all the penalties. Took way more than expected. Is this already second race? Yes, it is already second race. Everything already went through. It's amazing. Give me a moment to understand what is happening. Granadas Caracas wins in front of Amedeo Casarino, Lawrence Varosem. Welcome to all the German-speaking viewers. Welcome here for the interviews time. And Stokosa crashed. Fantastic stuff. Granadas Caracas wins in front of Amedeo Casarino by 5.9 seconds, with Lawrence Varosem just ahead of Milan Kiss, Samir Posh in 5th, Peter De Luvelar 6th, Josh Booby 7th only, but he is excused considering he is not on his equipment. Then Timon Stemmer, 8th place at the moment, Eric Delfante in 9th, David Lindblom in 10th, Joe Kawaka in 11th, Christian Buscher in 12th, Mattia Max in 13th, Tim Kruseberg 14th, and Sasha Wasner in 15th. All the standings are not with penalties applied. Ian Buscher 16th, Kevin Bellick 17th at the moment, with Nika Vlugen only 18th. Jens Bludemann, then Daniel Steiner completing your top 20. And then Flegg, Vandemir, Sav, McVeigh, Kartvikin, Grandi, Hoffman, Kaza, Sekalovsky, Ghost, Stevens, Penzes, and De Souza completing the 44 drivers grid. In any case, it's interview time. Where is Discord? Here it is. I have 2 of them. I just need Discord to be set accordingly. Okay, it is. I wanted to start with Varosem, which is here. So we'll start with Lawrence van Rossem. Welcome, Lawrence.
Hello.
Welcome in the commentary booth. And how are you doing?
I'm shaking.
Okay.
I'm so happy. Yeah, this is amazing. It's been I think my best sim racing result ever. So stoked.
Good on you. Happy for you. You had a very good race. You defended as well as you could against Caracas and Castorino, but unfortunately you had to fold.
Yeah, those 2 guys are in a completely different league. I was there based on luck, and they were there on merit. So yeah, I could hold them off for a few laps, but not much longer than that.
And so yeah, this is your best result up to date, isn't it?
Oh yeah, by far. Yeah.
3rd place in the Pro Series. Did the wet surface help you, or was it more an impediment to your progresses?
I think it helped because I started it in first. So for the first 20 something minutes, I had clear vision, and everyone else was driving through the spray and they couldn't see anything. So my lap times also dropped a lot the second I got in the spray from other people. So I think it really helped me to start first and get good vision in the wet. Probably wouldn't have been top 10 if it was a full dry race.
And also I noticed that you are still using the very same Ferrari you used last season. Is it a choice made on the fact that you are quick with it, or it is because you are used to it?
Oh, I'm a one-trick pony. I can only drive one car, and I can drive it okay, but put me in anything else and I'm 2 seconds slower.
So basically, if it works, don't change it.
Yeah, exactly.
For final question, next round it should be on Imola, which is quite, I wouldn't say close, but it's a bit similar to Donington. Are you expecting a similar result, or are you expecting even something better?
No, not at all. Imola isn't really a track that suits me, so if I can finish without a big crash, then I'll be happy over there.
Makes sense, definitely makes sense. So yeah, honestly, congratulations on the podium. I also suspect the first podium on the Pro Series. You had done a very, very good race, and also consistency pays off. So that's why you are now in the podium.
Thank you very much, and thank you also a lot for streaming this whole thing. It's really amazing.
It's our duty to provide a commentary to your adventures or misadventures, depending on the situation. So yeah, good one, and I hope you will maybe be here even next round. Who knows?
Who knows? Bye.
Cheers. As that was Laurent Barosem. As you can see, he was pretty emotional on the fact that he had his first podium on the K-Skin.de Pro Series. And honestly, I'm just smiling right now because it always makes also me emotional. Like, hey, your first podium. It's always great to see these things and to witness them. Now, the other side of the medal, so someone that is used to commentaries, to interviews, and to podiums. Amedeo Castellino, welcome in the commentary room. Amedeo?
Hello.
Okay, it works. Welcome in the commentary room, and I was just saying that you are quite used to being in the podium, and even this round you didn't really downplay your abilities.
Yeah, it's a good habit to have, I will say. But unfortunately, for this race, the pace wasn't very, very good. And luckily race 2 with the wet was a bit better, and with all other cars I managed to take advantage of situation, and the fastest guy were a bit behind, so they were struggling to overtake people because it's quite hard in this track. So yeah, at the end was a good damage limitation, but with a P2, because race 1 was not very well. And yeah, so at the end happy about the result for what the pace was, but not happy about the pace.
You mentioned that you actually weren't as good as you thought. I just paraphrasing what you said. Why is it so? Why the pace wasn't there?
I would like to know the answer. Like,
okay,
a bit because of the car for sure, because here it should need like minus 42 kilos, but it has only minus 30. But apart from that, it's also me that I was lacking some tenths for sure. So yeah, I don't know, because in the first race I was fast with this car, so I hope this is the only track where I will have this issue. And so yeah, I don't know what I can expect for the next round. I hope to be on the pace that I had on Spa, not on the pace that I had in this race.
Yeah, on the same metric as I had with Lawrence, did the rain help you, or do you think you could have gone even quicker without the rain?
No, I think the rain helped me. Not on, like, the pace I think was actually the same. The fact that on the rain I could take advantage of more mistakes from others, like especially I was feeling already good on the first lap, so I overtook 3-4 people on the first lap, and then someone was doing mistakes, some battle, and on the wet you have maybe more chance because the race is less linear. So it helped a bit.
Final question. I just put forward the standings on screen, and you are second by about exactly 60 points on Del Fante. Yeah. So all in all, it really went well, considering the situation. You jumped, I think you jumped about four, maybe 4 people in the standings compared to where you were on the first round. Now that you are way closer to the top. Are you going to be more or less aggressive, considering there is more to risk but also more to gain?
Probably, I mean, the same as before.
Okay.
Like, you can't risk anyway too much, also because it's quite easy to have a small contact and take a penalty, and even 5 seconds you will lose a lot of position. So yeah, you can't be too much aggressive, but you have to be also a little bit, or you will not overtake anyone. So it's a bit of a mix.
Yeah, obviously it's still the start of the championship, so there is still a lot to be written on paper. But as it stands, you are second, 60 points behind. It's for now it's a good look. Let's say for now it's a good look.
Not too bad, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see in the future. Probably I will hear from you in this room in not next week because I'm not here. But in any case, you are used to podiums, and I'm sure you will have podiums in this season too.
Yeah, I hope. So yeah, hopefully we will see next week.
No problem. It's Imola, so it only has to go well for you.
Yeah, home track.
Exactly, that's why.
Cool. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye. So yeah, as you heard, next track is Imola, also my home track. Where is Caracas? Well, it's not here, so there isn't a winner interview, unfortunately. So this is basically the end. I will just go through the prices and the calendar. Okay, just the prices. Remember that this is a price championship, and these drivers are fighting for these prices. So whoever is in first receives Moza Racing 2,500 euros voucher. Second placed driver receives a Metaphysics bundle by Nitro Concepts, and whoever sits in the bronze place a pair of ODZ LCD GX. This is what they are fighting for in the championship. And again, if you like to be part of these races, you can do it. You don't have to participate in every single race. You can also have some one-off races as a wildcard. Nothing bad in it. But in any case, I was Cristian Romano. I hope you all had a great evening. It was a pretty long one, considering the Porsche Cup and the whole Pro Series. And I will see you all next time. Have a good evening, good night to everyone in the world. See you next time. Bye.